All right, hello friends, and welcome to the Threads of You Beyond the Bay demo. Now you may be asking, Kit, didn't you play the demo before? But this is actually a reworked demo. Lavendeer Studios, who is the people who created this game, gave me an early access look into their new reworked demo, and I am super excited to be playing this right now. I really liked the original demo. I'm really excited to see what they are doing with the new reworked demo. And I think that's all that I need to say. So let's hop into this. Let's see what they have changed. Let's see this world again and get into the game. I'm super excited. All right. Now we already saw my reaction to this. It's one of my biggest, most viewed TikToks. The little clip. I absolutely love this screen, putting your name into the sand with the little stick. It's so cute, but... And then we have to make me, ooh, interesting. This looks like it has changed a little bit. We have to make my character, so I will try to go through this real fast. Okay. Neutral. This document is acknowledged by the Brine Bay Court. Oh, interesting. I don't think I need to do anything with custom pronouns. It should just be with this. I think that these actually you can't access unless you do customs. Yeah. Okay. Nope, don't want custom, just want they, them. Just wanted to play around with it because this is new. Alright, acknowledged. Let's see here. Presets. Oh goodness. Okay, let's go for mouth. That looks fine to me. Moles. I don't have any moles, but I just want to look at the options because I'm excited. Okay, scars, marking. You could have little cat whiskers. That's pretty cool. I don't need those, though. You can also have vitiligo. If you want, you can have freckles. Those freckles look rather dark, but... alright. Let's go with some hair. Goodness, the customizations in this game are incredible. Let's see, there's so many. I have like 3 options that I've already seen that I'm like, I like this. I could use this. Let's see here, because this one's pretty close, I'd say. Pretty similar. But I also saw this one, and I was like, okay. A little sideswept action. There's also this, but I don't think about that. This one, I think, because it has the more, like, face framing features, versus this is a little bit more straight. Let me change... Oh, goodness. Oh, no. I'm so bad at choosing colors. Especially with this sort of thing, every single time that I see a color picker like this, I'm like, please, I just want some preset colors. I'm thinking a little bit more orangey, though. Kind of match with, like, my model, but... I have such a difficult time with choosing hex code. Like I said, I like preset colors better, personally. I don't want to mess with hex codes and things like that, but that's okay. You know what? I know that a lot of people really enjoy that sort of thing, being able to really, like, fine-tune your color like this, so I get it. It's just not my personal cup of tea. That looks a little too blunt. I want to see what other options we have here. It could be the possibility, it might be what I choose, but oh, I like the little braid in this one. Not my hair, though. I just want to look and see, because that one feels a little bit too blunt in the back to me, but it's okay. It is, close enough. What do we have for extras? Okay, some extra bang things. Okay. I'm not in love with the back. Okay, hold on. I just want to see. That's what we had before. Okay. I just want to see the options and what they look like. Obsessed with some of these. I think that's as close as... You know what? I should not play around with this too much. This is not the game itself. Let's go eye shape. Kind of like this one. It's giving pissed off. I kind of love it. And then again with colors. That looks okay. I just want to see... Intriguing. Okay, you could have... I don't see what the difference is, but it might just be because, like, my bangs are in the way. And then you can have some eye makeup as well. Okay, eyebrows. Let's go. The hearts are super cute. Just go for, like, normal eyebrows, I feel like. That seems good. You could also have heterochromia if you'd like. Love that. Let's see what we have for outfits. Ooh, look, let's see, for the top, let's go with, that looks good. Maybe not, like, straight black. Another reason why I don't like doing these is I will always just choose straight. Oh, actually, I should make it look like my VTuber. I just thought about it. Okay, so this has to be white then. I don't think about these things, and I guess something like that. That feels better. Or perhaps this. No. Let's go with that. You can have a little crop top. Exciting. And then outerwear, let's see what we have. This is a possibility. Just go, like, without the little cape. If we could do that. Because you know that we're not gonna get, like, perfectly... Oh boy. Here we go again, trying to choose a good brown. We're not gonna... Oh, that's not the right color. What a fool I am. Outerwear. This one. We're not gonna get perfectly the same as my VTuber, of course. There we go. What do we have for prints? Oh! Literally me, and there's like a wolf. I love this. Eat the rich. Oh my god, you guys. Insane. I'm not gonna use any of these, but those first two are so good. Okay. Definitely need some glasses. We're just gonna go with, like, black. Oops, I forgot how to get out of the menu. Okay. Piercings. Ooh, nose piercing. It doesn't combine with the glasses very well, but left piercing, right piercings, mouth piercings. This one's kind of cute. It looks like a star. Earrings. I have these earrings. Can I? No, I can't go for both of them. Darn, I do have, like, both of these. I have one in the top and one in the bottom. But it does not look like I can choose both, so that's okay. And, earrings. Bring it down to black. Others. Masks. Okay, and some band-aids. Alright. Then we have this. Ooh! Okay. Cute. Some little hair clips and things. Okay. Obsessed. Even in the first time that I was playing this game, I was obsessed with all of the different options that you could choose, but still just obsessed looking through all of these. Okay. Don't like any of them. Neck. Okay. Wear tie. Back. Alright. Pins? Ooh. Exciting. I probably won't actually wear it, but just exciting that you could have little pins and stuff. Okay. I think this is what we are going with. Something that looks like my VTuber model. Exciting. Okay, let's go. Today is Saturday. It's not, but you let out a loud... I wish I could read. Starting into this and I can't even read. You let out a loud, drawn-out yawn, the first of many since you started this long drive. One of your favorite songs plays quietly in the background as you drum your fingers on the steering wheel. Dawn's barely left and the sun is peeking through the horizon. The rest of the sky is still asleep with an array of dark blues and purples. The summer breeze is gentle, but not too warm, so you roll down your windows all the way to enjoy it brush against your face. Now, you normally don't get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and tackle a 600-mile drive, but you've been planning this little excursion for a while. The main reason is because you don't have too much to do during summer break. A road trip to your hometown sounded like a pretty good idea, so you went with it. Plus, you do feel a little bit homesick, not that you'd admit it to your parents. Thankfully, I found a rental with bargain wheels that I can use for the month instead of catching flights back and forth. Not only that, it'll save me the trouble of taking my parents' car. You shudder to think about how that would go down with your parents. It's been decades and they both still love that old navy blue minivan to pieces. Sometimes you think they love it more than you. God knows what would happen if you had to borrow it and anything happened to it. So this was the safest and cheapest choice. You glance outside your car window and take in the view of the ocean. The sky begins to light up from the sun and turn a cheerful bright blue, with a few scattered clouds idly floating around. Waves softly roll across the ocean's surface to greet the beginning of a new day. You can't think of anything better to watch in the morning. It's been a calm drive. You've got your best hits playlist, some of your favorite snacks, and you're free for the summer. As you hum along to the next track, you start planning where you should stop for lunch. Now, where was that list you had in your phone? Oh, it's probably in my phone. Excitement bubbles up in your chest. Even with the long drive, you can't wait to start this new summer adventure. I think it'd be really cute if they had you, like, actually open your phone for that. I doubt that it's going to actually say anything. Contacts. Who are these people? Location. Oh, interesting. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Now there's a map? I love this. Okay. And whatever this is. Okay. Lavendeer. Okay, I'm just trying to read these. Threads of you, more like threads of ew. I'm just trying to read these real quick. Google, is it healthy to sleep 2 hours per night? But then somebody actually says Google up here, so... Interesting. Okay, that was a whole excursion that we didn't need to be. How do I leave? I guess I just hit escape. I just really wanted to check out the phone since it changed. Did I read this? I don't remember. I'm gonna read it again. Excitement bubbles up in your chest. Even with the long drive, you can't wait to start this new summer adventure. Or so you thought. That doesn't sound good. The smell of burning rubber floats through the windows. Double not so good. The dashboard lights flicker. Your music stutters a few times before continuing. With a pit in your stomach, you glance down to see those familiar menacing signs appear behind your steering wheel. Check battery and check engine stare right back at you, mockingly. Okay, I just need to turn off some things and pray it will last me. You make quick work of shutting off your music, AC, and GPS. That's when the steering wheel locks on you, and you immediately tense up. Oh crap. Despite your panic, you manage to guide the car to the side of the road. You silently thank whoever is watching over you that the roads are empty. You turn on the hazard lights with a frustrated button press. Don't panic. Maybe if I let it sit for a bit, I can try to start it again. 10 minutes tick by before you try again. And again. And again. The engine weakly tries to come back to life, only to sputter and die. The lights go off with it, and now you're sitting in a dead car. Great. So there goes that idea. Anything else you got for me? The car shudders slightly before it starts to roll forward slowly. You really had to go and say something, didn't you? But it doesn't get too far as the car suddenly comes to a stop with a little thud. With some luck, it seems like you've run into a small ditch to stop you from rolling to your death. Without a second thought, you pull on the emergency brake so that it doesn't happen again. Okay, it's fine. Now I just need to handle this. You take a deep breath and take your phone out. The service is spotty, but hopefully it will last you long enough to make this call. You reach for the glove compartment and pop it open to find Bargain Wheel's emergency roadside contact slip. Here goes nothing. After 4 agonizingly long rings, you're connected with a representative. She asks for all the necessary information and puts you on hold to run everything through their system. Here I was hoping to do some sightseeing at some stops. Not much for that idea. Your grumbling is cut off when the representative returns. Thank you for holding. I've confirmed your information. All I need is your location, and I'll be able to dispatch a licensed Bargain Wheels partner mechanic to you. Great. Okay, so according to my GPS, I'm at... You read off the location and wait for her confirmation. The line is silent. You get that sinking feeling in your gut again. Hello? Can you hear me? No response. You take a look at your phone, finding the screen off and unresponsive to your touch. Oh, for God's sake. Of course, your phone also dies. The cherry on top of this shit Sunday. Actually, it's Saturday. I really hope she got the location before the call dropped. You might as well be trapped on a remote island at this point. But your parents raised you better than that. To quit at the first sign of failure. Or at least that's what you're trying to tell yourself. The battery's definitely dead. I never fully charged my phone even though I've had it plugged in for over an hour. You try to decide your next move. Maybe popping open the hood to check. Before you can make up your mind, you swear you hear something outside. Your round of suffering is repaid in full with the sight of a vehicle approaching on the other side of the road. Let's flag it down, I guess. Oh my god, there's actually people on this road at this time of day. Without much thought, you honk your car horn several times while waving at the car. Come on, please. You watch as the door opens, and out steps a tall man. Wow. Despite his height, I kind of thought that they were just gonna pass by. Despite his height and the sunglasses hiding his eyes, you don't feel that usual anxiousness around strangers. You can't put a finger on it, but the way he holds himself makes you feel a bit at ease. Maybe even safe. It's a weird thing to say about a total stranger on the side of the road, but you always trust your gut. He approaches your car, giving the door a gentle knock. The man leans in, slipping off the shades from his face. You're greeted by one of the hottest guys you've seen in a long time. I knew it was gonna be him, but still, funny little description. Your gut is doing you good as you inwardly cheer for yourself. His warm brown gaze twinkles in the morning sun. You expect a church choir to start singing in the background as he smiles at you. But you have to play it cool. He's still a complete stranger, even if he's ridiculously hot. Mom taught you better than that. The man lays an arm across the open window, giving you a better view of his face up close. You can see a scar running down his face along with a few others scattered around his neck and arm.
Hey there. Is everything alright?
Okay. Voice is a little bit quiet. Let me turn up the volume in my ear and I'll turn that up in post as well. In editing. But a little bit quiet, okay?
I noticed your hazard lights and figured I'd check to make sure.
I'm glad at the very least that I could hear voices, because last time I remember I did not know that this game was voiced. So exciting. I could really use a hand. Not really. My car battery's dead and I'd really appreciate some help. I was about to go and pop open the hood to check myself, but then you showed up, thankfully. He offers you a sympathetic look and nods in understanding.
I'm sorry to hear about that. Do you need help jumping it?
You're not gonna say this line? Come on. Say the whole thing. I've got some cables in my trunk. Just let me turn my car around and I can get that going for you. I'd really appreciate that. Before you came along, I was trying to call the rental company to get some roadside assistance. But my phone died just as I was giving her my location. What a crazy stroke of luck, huh? Sounds like you've been through a lot.
Here, why don't you borrow my phone and make that call again?
Why do you only say some lines and not some others? Are you sure? I'm asking a lot from you as a total stranger. He shakes his head, handing you his cell.
Oh, and my name's Gene Williams. Just Gene is fine.
Also, don't worry about it. You give an awkward nod of acknowledgement. I'm Kit.
We're not total strangers now, right?
Gene flashes you another warm smile.
Just sit tight and make that phone call while I move my car.
Okay. No, and make sure to pop open the hood. He leaves you to it and heads back to his car. That's really loud. Oh my goodness. You dial the number and almost cry when you hear the voice of a representative pick up. Can I change that real fast? Hold on. Ooh, still have my old save from the old demo. That's so exciting. References. Hold on. Sound. Okay, down a little bit. I almost wanted to turn the music down a little bit too. That looks pretty okay. I'm looking at my audio mixer to see whether or not that looks good numbers wise. It sounds good in my ears, but you know. And then I have no idea what the sound should be at, so let's say 15 because that sounds good. Okay. Making quick work of providing the information again, you also ask if you could get a replacement vehicle. The representative puts you on hold while she looks into it. You wait, tapping a finger on the steering wheel. 12 minutes tick by and your tapping speed increases with each passing minute. And Gene's just like waiting for this? Okay. 12 minutes seems like a lot. It's taking longer than I thought. There's no way I got disconnected again, right? You peek at the phone screen. Your shoulders slump in relief as it lights up, still on the call screen. Hello, thank you for holding. Unfortunately, all rentals in nearby locations have been reserved. I apologize for the inconvenience. There might be cancellations, so please give us a call back tomorrow. Oh, okay. I'll try that then. Are you sure there's nothing else we can do in the meantime? I'm afraid not. However, we may be able to cover the repair cost. I'd sure hope so. In addition, we can reimburse you for emergency accommodations. Of course, this will depend on the limit based on your coverage. Well, that's better than nothing. Thanks. You notice Gene waving at you. He mimes the action of turning on the ignition, so you grab your key. We have a nearby contractor that has been dispatched to you. Thanks. Do you have any other questions for me? You insert the key and silently pray. Nope, that's it. Thank you. You're given the typical end of call company shtick before you hang up. With bated breath, you turn on the ignition. The car sputters and miraculously starts. You break out into a grin while letting out a little whoop of victory. You see Gene give a thumbs up before he exits his car. My car looks like crap in the background. You hop out of yours, practically skipping towards him to hand his phone back. You're a lifesaver. Thank you so much again. I also got in contact with them, and they have someone coming to get my car checked out.
Huh.
That's great news. Where were you headed, by the way? Gene, you will never guess. I was on my way to Sunny Cove Valley. Oh, I guess technically speaking, yes, I am going to go see my parents and not the actual town in which you live. That does make sense. That's a bit of a ways from here. I'm on my way back to Brine Bay. Oh, where's that? I never got a proper look at my surroundings on the GPS before it died. It's the town nearest to us and where I live. I just got off of work, actually. My office is in the next town, so I have to make the drive. I'm headed to SCV to visit my hometown for summer vacation. I had to make sure that I was saying the right letters for some reason. Or that was the plan before, you know. That must have been a pretty bad scare out of the blue, huh? No idea. But thanks again for the help. His shoulders drop as he lets out a sigh of relief. The smile on his face widens, looking genuinely happy to have helped. It's a rare sight to see someone like him nowadays. So, did you have any particular plans for your vacation? I did have some spots I wanted to stop by to take photos and try out the local food. My friends begged me to get them souvenirs too. Do you think a postcard is good enough? He snorts, his face scrunching up adorably. Maybe a fridge magnet would be good. I have plenty of those from my visits to other towns. I ran out of room on the fridge, so I had to put some away. With your phone dead and nothing else to do, you two fall into a brief conversation about random, mundane things. You lose track of time, pausing mid-sentence as another car ambles down the road. It peels off the street, parking just a spot or two away from Gene's. Headlights go out and his engine sputters out. Quietly enough, you half wonder if you should be worried about his car instead. That would be crazy. He steps out, and the first thing that you see is red. Oh, I'm so fucking pissed. No, I'm joking. With a toolbox in hand and his hand adjusting a utility belt as he approaches, it's an easy guess that he's the mechanic. Or a really overly prepared do-gooder like Gene, maybe. He nods at you with recognition when you flag him down with a wave. He smiles, an easy, lopsided thing meant for his damsel in distress. You're starting with this already? And in the narration? He's damn cute for a mechanic. Everybody is cute in this game. Maybe in your next life you could be... Maybe in your next life you could be the car instead. Jesus Christ, y'all. I was like, wow, I can't wait for like the jokes to start coming in this game. Wasn't expecting it this early. My god, okay.
Gene?
Oh, so that smile wasn't meant for you. With a two-fingered salute and the tools clattering around in his belt, the vague tension in Gene's expression all but fades. That really says all you needed to know about the two. They're acquainted. They're acquainted. Friends, maybe? That's something to be glad for, you hope.
You're competing with my folks? Say it isn't so.
Got some more car trouble for me? Right, I happened to come across Kit here having some car trouble and stopped to help.
Yeah, I can just pack it up and go home then.
Thanks. Kai. The car. The mechanic exaggeratedly rolls his eyes. His head tips back, coupled with the lazy roll of his shoulders. His face all but says, "What are you gonna do?" before he finally stands at attention. Gene's quiet snicker doesn't go unnoticed.
Alright. Let me take a look.
Thanks. He, Kai, by Gene's unattended introduction, takes a quick glance at the license plate and a crumpled piece of paper in his hand. You're, yeah. The paper's neatly folded and tucked away into his back pocket before he extends a hand to you in greeting.
Nice to meet you. And sorry, I'm Kai.
My garage is the closest, and we work with, Bargain Wheels. He produces the laminated license in short order to presumably convince you he's actually working with them. The logo is bright and colorful, besides his equally bright and colorful face, with his name in slightly fading font. Kai, and I'd never know how to pronounce that last name. Wen, I think it is? Something similar to that. Alright, so can you tell me what happened here? My car exploded. More helpfully. As you walk him through what happened, Kai takes a loop of your car. His hands live in his pockets as he hums and ahs in between each new and inadvertent disaster. We've been trying to let it charge for a bit after I jumped their car. Sounds like it could be a battery issue. How long's it been charging? About 15 minutes. Let's try disconnecting it and having Kit drive for a bit. Okay, I'm going straight out of the road and into a tree. We'll be right behind you. If you're sure. You're in good hands. Kai knows what he's doing. This is the most he's helped since the other demo. Like, he's actually doing something in this one. Incredible. The cables are disconnected and swiftly put away as the three of you pile into your respective cars. Something like hope bubbles inside you as you turn on the ignition, and it quickly becomes optimism when everything lights up. The tires roll forward. The radio clicks on, and then it stutters out, and you think you can hear its final gasp as you pull the brake. I want to mess with the audio settings again. Takes so many clicks to get here. Music down a little bit more. I feel like it keeps getting louder and louder. Okay. The window doesn't even roll down anymore when Gene and Guy approach. Well, there goes that. Let me take a closer look. Popping open the hood is just reflexive now as Kai reviews its interiors and you deflate into the driver's seat, the tiniest bit more defeated than earlier.
Ah.
I think I know what it is. You do? Looks like there isn't any damage to the battery, but you're telling me it's not holding the charge. Might be an alternator issue. I'll get this towed to the shop and have a full diagnostics run just to make sure. Let me make a call. It'll be a bit, so, you know, hang tight. Oh, is it going to be a while? I'm going to do my best to make sure it's not. Gene waves him off before shooting you a tacitly sympathetic look. Sorry that the jump didn't work out. Don't be. I'm just glad someone stopped, you know? If it's alright with you, I can give you a lift to town. What? No, I can't put you out like that. It was already enough that he'd stopped and tried to help. Asking more than that just seemed rude. It's okay,
Hey.
You too. Sorry to interrupt, but I need you to confirm some info with the towing company. Kai hands you his phone and you relive the same conversation a fourth time. Yes to this, no to that, and a bunch of other responses in between. By the time it's over, you're just about done with phone calls for the rest of the day. Maybe even for the rest of the week. That was loud. Gene digs out his keys, quickly hitting the lock button until his car gives a cheerful beep. Let me see. Hold on, I'm still fucking around with audio things. Just this entire thing. I'm gonna put a limiter on the audio here so that anything above 5, let's say, isn't too loud. Maybe also a compressor. Hold on. I'm good at this, I promise you. Just kidding. Or, thresholds. Let's not go too crazy here. Say 7? Just a little something, so I'm not blowing out your ears every single time that I blow out my ears. Just some stuff. I actually, I put the limiter above the compressor. Like a fool. Okay. So, how does that ride sound? I'd really like that. If that's the case, let's share contacts. Yippee! I love getting contacts on my phone in this game! Jean can take you into town while I wait here. I'll give you a call once your car's in the shop. You nod, reading out your phone number to him. He jots down his number on a slip of paper and hands it to you. They both offer to help move your things to Jean's car. Everything gets loaded in his back seat in no time. Did I actually get the contact now? Like, yes. I am telling you, I get so excited to get contacts in this game. Let me look. No thoughts, head empty. Incredible. Okay. Because it used to be that they would give you a little, like, profile for, like, name, age, it was who the voice actor was, occupation. Now it's just text, which does make sense. You know what? I get it. But I really like seeing when exactly you get the contact information in the game. Okay, let's get out of here. Did I read this? I don't remember. They both offer to help move your things to Jean's car. Everything gets loaded in his back seat in no time. I'll see you later, Kai. Stay safe out there. Kai gives him the same salute from earlier and waves him off. Just as you reach the passenger side door, Jean's right there to open the door for— okay, damn. You mumble your thanks and get in, feeling a bit flustered. Jean gets into his side as soon as you're properly buckled in. All set? You double check your seatbelt before giving him a nod, just in case I don't know how to put it on the first time. He turns on the radio to some popular station you've heard of and peels off into the road, really surprised you to see the trees suddenly going past. The windows are slightly rolled down and you get that lovely breeze you were enjoying earlier. It's almost as if nothing ever happened and you're back on the road, headed to your hometown. I can see exactly when the trees, like, double back, loop back around. I've seen it like 5 times now. Or maybe it's just every single time that I click. That is, until you hear Jean's humming slowly pick up in volume from beside you. You glance over at him as he continues to hum along, tapping his fingers on the steering wheel. He notices you, staring, and jolts, clearing his throat. His cheeks look just the tiniest bit red. Sorry, force of habit. I'm used to driving alone, so I ended up doing what I usually do to pass the time. No, it's okay. By the way, you and Kai seem to know each other pretty well. Do you know each other from work, or—
Huh.
You could say that. I'm usually sending my patrol car to him for tune-ups or repairs. Oh, are you a police officer? Sheriff, actually. It's a little bit different from a police officer. I won't get into it, though. I wouldn't want you falling asleep on me. I mean, if you're up for answering some things, I've got a question or two. Really? Ask away, then. What's Brine Bay like? I assume that I can ask both of these, so... You said you lived in Brine Bay, right? I never get a chance to check out cities aside from a pit stop, so I'm curious. It's a humble little town with a great community. Nothing crazy happens nowadays, but I like it that way. It's a big step up from how it was when I was growing up there. Was it really that bad before? His brows furrow at the question. It was definitely tough. Not the best place to raise a family or settle down, that's for sure. He seems to notice your growing unease at his description and relaxes his expression into a reassuring smile. Well, I promise you that you'll be safe while you're in town. Sheriff's honor. Well, if the sheriff himself says so, I'll make sure to find you if I run into any problems. That's what I'm here for. I doubt you'll end up in any trouble. Unless you are a troublemaker, that is. I'll need a lawyer present to answer that. I'll have you know I'm a law-abiding citizen. Although if you want any info out of me, I'll need to phone a lawyer first. He laughs heartily, followed by a small snort. I'm being serious. Your grin is giving you away, clear as day. I'll take your word for it. I doubt you'd be able to hurt a fly, let alone do anything illegal. Both of you fall into a bunch of different conversations as the radio continues playing softly in the background. I guess I don't get to ask him about him being a sheriff. Interesting. Okay. The sun is higher up in the sky now, floating in a sea of clear blue. You pass by a slightly fading sign that reads, "Welcome to Brine Bay," before Jean makes a right. The car slows down a bit just as it enters the town's streets. Ooh, okay. Buildings varying in sizes and colors surround you. The backdrop of the ocean in the distance is breathtaking. There aren't as many people as you're used to seeing. The morning work crowd is waiting for a bus, while some go on foot. Everyone seems to be going at their own pace and isn't in a rush or scrambling to get somewhere. It's a good change of pace with its coastal and cozy energy. The town feels like it's just barely getting up along with its citizens. Here we are. Welcome to Brine Bay.
Huh.
I've been meaning to ask, but were you in a rush to head to SCV? Not really. I accounted for pit stops and sightseeing. Why? Well, since you're here and need to wait for Kai, why not do some of that? It's not a huge town, but it has plenty to do if you look around. There's the arcade, plenty of places to eat, or maybe the beach. Okay. The sound of your luggage being jostled makes you look at the back seat. I'd love to, but maybe I should find some place to put my stuff down first. Somewhere I can stay a night or two would be nice. I know just the place. It's called the Coral Inn, and it's a great rest spot. The one who runs it is an old friend of mine. Just a fair warning, he's not exactly that receptive towards tourists or unfamiliar faces, but he's a nice guy. Such a weird thing to say about somebody who, owns an inn. He doesn't really like unfamiliar faces, but, he owns an inn, so... Isn't that bad for business? Since he's running an inn? Gene shakes his head, huffing out a fond laugh. You'd think that, but he makes it work. The car turns into a smaller street and approaches a parking lot. Okay. I'm very intrigued by the way that the art style has changed between the previous demo and this demo. I'm wondering if it's a full art style change or if this is just placeholder art, because I don't know how to explain it. The other art style previously was a little bit more detailed. This is a little bit more cartoony, and it could it looks fine. It could be that they're just going for an art style change and it isn't a bother. It's just very interesting as somebody who played the previous demo to see the differences and just, kind of wondering, are we going with a different art style? Or even the characters look a little bit different, but not too extremely different. So anyway, you look past the lot to see a pleasant two-story building painted white with light teal roofing. Jean parks in an open spot near the main entrance and shuts off the engine. You unbuckle your seatbelt and crack open the door, getting ready to step out to grab your luggage.
Hey.
Let me help you with that. He's quick on his feet, hopping out of the car before you can utter a word. At his insistence, he carries your luggage for you as you two walk into the lobby. It has a bit of a chic flair alongside the cozy vibe, with framed photos of runway designs all along the walls. Okay. Speaking of, you walk up to the check-in desk, where a man is idly flipping through a fashion magazine. Dante, how's business been? Dante looks up and sets his reading down, a smirk forming on his lips. Like usual. He turns to you and greets you with the same laid-back smile. Welcome to Coral Inn. The name's Dante. We're not a bed and breakfast, in case you're wondering. He's an old friend of mine from high school and the manager here. It's with Kit. They got into some car trouble and needs to stay here for a bit while Kai takes a look at their car. I know it's sudden, but do you think you could do me a favor and try to help them out with their accommodations? I don't know, man. I'm already cutting it close to my margins with this bill cycle. Oh, no worries. I have a card, so I can pay. The rental company told me I'll be reimbursed for emergency accommodations after my stay, so it's all good. Cool. We've got all the amenities you ever want. Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and running water. Really extravagant stuff. In the previous demo, they had hot water, but you could only use it after 9 p.m. So we've really stepped up a little bit here. We have Wi-Fi, AC, and running water. Also, you know, the lobby looks a little bit different. Now this looks like an actual place you want to stay at. Whereas previously, it was kind of a dump, but like, okay. I mean, what else could someone ask for? You'd be surprised. Some clientele really like glitz and glamour, but don't have enough to cough up for hotels in the next town. Hell, one guy wanted a personal sauna and jacuzzi. I almost laughed in his face. A ringtone interrupts your conversation, and Gene takes out his phone, excusing himself to answer it. Well, that about covers it. Would you like a room? Yes, please. You hand him your card, and he starts tapping away at his keyboard. He prints out a form for you to sign, handing you back your card along with a room key. You're all set. Have a nice stay. He seems to really want to get back to his magazine, because the moment he finishes, he picks it back up, flipping until he reaches a certain page. You thank him and head over to Gene. It sounds like he's finishing up the call as he hangs up the moment you walk up beside him. He turns to you and smiles, even though there's a pinch in his brows now. His shoulders look just as tense as his jaw, so you give him a worried look. Is everything okay? Oh, yeah, nothing to worry about. I'm sorry, but I'll have to leave earlier than I wanted to. That was from the station. I need to book it back there for something. Oh, that's fine. I'm sure we'll see each other again at some point. We will. I'll make sure to drop by if I can. Try to enjoy your stay while you're here. Make sure not to get too crazy, though. You wave at him as he rushes towards the entrance. Dante shouts a farewell to him. Just like that, he's gone. Well, time to get settled. Alright, A room? The room, following the theme of Brine Bay, is also cozy and inviting. It's nothing too luxurious, but you find yourself becoming pretty attached to the vibe of this place. The bed looks so soft and comfortable, but you resist the temptation of flopping down onto it. You know if you put your head down, you're going to pass out for God knows how long. This is nice. I would have looked into staying here if I knew about this place. You set the luggage down by the door with a loud thunk. After spotting an outlet, you quickly fish out the charging cable to plug in your phone. While I wait for that to charge, I should look around the room. Maybe even try to get more comfortable. We still get to decorate the room. This is one part of the previous demo that I wasn't sure about. Like, because it's a hotel room, we're not going to be staying for too long. But we still get to decorate, so let's go through this. Decoration. Is that who I think it is? Really? Oh my god, okay. We can also have some sea stuff. I'm just gonna go through all the options because I know it's behind my head. We have some frame. Those are honestly pretty cute. I really like those. Marine, motivated. Oh my god, live, laugh, love. Ooh, plants. Oh my god, I love that so much. Dreamy, ukulele, surf, and oars. Oh no, there's so many different things. This one's so funny. And I'd love to keep it on my wall. But I'm gonna go with the plants. Oh my god, okay. As for the clock, we have that one. We have a daisy. We have a berry. Seashell. Tulip. Helm. Cat. Star. Dessert. And a flower. I feel like I don't need a clock. But apparently I can't get rid of it, so... looks like I will in fact be having a clock. That one's fine. Above bed. Well, alright. We have stars, Polaroids. I like just going into a hotel, putting up some string, and putting up all your Polaroids. What the hell? Bunting, marigolds, vines, seashells, roses, whimsy, some lights, and some wisteria. Honestly, I love the wisteria. Alright. As for the bed, ooh, some sheets. We got stripes, strawberries. Waves looks pretty similar to default. Some hearts, heck yeah. Red, green, multicolored, ooh. Cottage, and blue. I don't know that I like any of them. Hearts is pretty funny, but I'd probably just go with the default. Okay, and some plushies. Oh boy, do I want plushies, because I can't take these off. I don't know that I do, but we have a shell, a penguin, miho, a capybara, and a chickadee. I'm not gonna put any on the bed. Side table, we have put some wisteria on them, lava lamp, a flower, some daisies, a mushroom, lit up, ducky, star, and groovy. I feel like default is fine. Desk. Oh my goodness, we could put a vase, a plant, some books, a conch, a boat, a dog, a mirror, whoops, mirror, tulips. A second clock has entered this bedroom. And some candles. I'm feeling the books. In the center, we could have a mug, some sunglasses. I'm feeling a laptop, but let's continue. We could have a tablet, an easel, an open book, pictures. Those look like plants to me. Some more pictures. Just a cube and a cat lamp. I feel like that's the space that should have a laptop, but the open book is pretty good as well. And then on the right side, we just have some clutter, a lamp, a shell, a whale, some treasure, a plant, some sunflowers, pencils, a calendar, and a picture. Let's go with some clutter. Just some good old-fashioned clutter. On the shelf, we could have some books, a controller, a frame picture, some vines, star, flowers, a counter, an easel, keyboard, and a bunny. I'm between the books and the vines. Let's see what else that we have, and then decide from there. On the right, we could have a cap, we could have some books, the moon, some pictures, a succulent, a bird, fish, ocean, anchor, and a lamp. I do like the lamp, it's so good. Let's go with books, and on the left we'll put the vines. And then a keychain? Oh, on the keychain holder, I see. So we have a froggy, none of which those look like frogs. Headphones, some trinkets, calendar, some interesting that it changes to show succulents, accessories, some pictures, a camera, ocean, and dreamy. Oh, if you double click it, it goes away. I see now. Okay, well. I don't know that I like any of these, but now that I know that, let me get the clock out of here. Okay. Nope, we just did that. The shelf. Mirror. Put some vines around the mirror? Oh my god. Seashells, fishies, roses. Oh, the roses look good too. Whimsy, lights, and some wisteria. I'm gonna go with the roses. And on the floor, the carpet, we have default, daisy, berry, shore, multicolor, checkers, froggy, fishy, flowers, and hearts. I'm gonna go with default. And I believe that is it. Ooh. As you finish settling in, your phone starts to ring. Kai's name appears on the screen, so you quickly answer it. Kai, what's up? Okay. Oh shit, it still goes. Also just checking on things. How things doing? Hey. The first line was your car is in the shop. I read it, but I was too busy being like, okay. Was expecting it to be a phone call with actual voice acting, though I know this is a demo, right? It's not going to be fully voiced. Honestly, really surprised that it has voices at all in a demo, but you know. Hey, I'm all good here. I'm staying at the Coral Inn. Good to hear. I'm going to text you the address pin for the shop. It's about a 15-minute walk from where you are, but I'd like to explain in person and also have some signs for you to forms. Huh? Sounds fun as hell, I know, but it's Bargain Wheel's policy. That's okay with me, I'll be there in a bit. You hang up and instantly hear the chime of a new text. It's the address pin, along with the thumbs up emoji. You get it set up on your phone's map and head out. Dante looks up from his magazine as soon as you enter the lobby. How's the room? Everything to your liking? For sure, it's really nice and I wish I could stay longer. He smiles and leans back against his chair, looking pleased at your enthusiastic response. Glad to hear. Let me know if you need anything. Will do. Thanks again for the help and warm welcome. Jean mentioned that Dante can be a little standoffish with guests, but I haven't gotten that vibe at all from him. Let's try to keep it that way, though. Wouldn't want to accidentally get on his bad side while staying here. Don't mention it. Go on and have fun exploring. You wave at him and take your leave. You haven't been to many auto shops, but Them's the Brakes has a certain charm to it. The smell of motor oil and rubber is strong, but not unbearable. Kai greets you at the garage entrance, wringing his fingers clean into a towel as he takes you over to what you can only assume is the reception area. He leans back against one of the workbenches, arms crossed over his chest. You can take a seat wherever you'd like. So he says, but the only options available to you are what looks like a well-worn couch and one of the lopsided stools in the garage. You shake your head. Suit yourself. So I've got some good news for you. Looks like it really is just an alternator issue, so it's not too bad of a fix. Bad news is that it's not going to be an easy thing to get. What do you mean? We can't just, I don't know, buy one? In theory? Yeah. In practice? I'll need to get it from a dealer. It's a rental, so it's complicated. I have to go through Bargain Wheels, and then they've got to reach out to the nearest dealer, and it wouldn't really be a priority since they wouldn't exactly be making money off of it. You're joking. The sympathetic expression on his face tells you he very much isn't. Give or take a few days before I can get the alternator in my hands. Sorry, that's how it kind of goes. But once I get it, it should be pretty quick, and you'll be able to get out of here in no time flat. That's not exactly the news I wanted to hear, but it's not the worst thing, you suppose. You get to stay at that nice inn for a little longer. Maybe this is all some elaborate twist to get me to make some summer memories here. I tried calling them earlier, but corporates... well, speak of the devil. Hang on for a second, in case they've got questions. As Kai disappears into the garage, you start to think about your next step. Now that you have at least a few days of free time, what will you do with it? Ooh, meet someone special! See what this town has to offer. It's like what Jean said earlier. This town seems to have plenty to do if you look in the right places. Why not take the time to explore? You're definitely curious about what you might come across. The possibilities are endless, and I've always wanted to just explore a new city, so why not start with Brine Bay? Before long, Kai returns with a clipboard and a handful of forms that get crushed against the pen he's holding. Alright, so give me your initials here and here, signature here. It'll keep you liability-free as the renter. After a quick review to make sure all the legalese holds up, the paperwork is completed and hastily faxed away. That's about all I can do for you for now. Just kind of a waiting game. Gene help you out? Yeah, he pointed me in the direction of an inn. Coral? That's the one. Guess I should do my part. Am I hungry? I was about to grab something to eat before they called in the cavalry. Come on. He doesn't wait for an answer, but he does wait for you by the door. The sign's still flipped to say open. Don't need to change that? Nah, I need maybe 10-15 minutes tops. Don't you get indigestion? All the time. As he pulls down the shutters, a little breath of a laugh manages to escape. The garage is swiftly locked, and he guides the two of you out onto the sidewalk. Ooh, skater! I'm just walking you there, and then I'll have to head back. Can't too long of a detour. Cars want me, something needs me. We can grab something together next time, yeah? When I've got someone else around to mind the garage while my dad's out of town. Heck yeah, cup of Joe Mama's. I was like, when are we gonna come here? Right now. Okay. You walk into the diner beside Kai, the smell of fresh coffee instantly hitting you alongside a gust of freezing air conditioning. This does unfortunately mean that I think I'm about to meet my least favorite character, but you know, whatever. It's a quaint little place, but judging by the amount of customers, a popular one. Actually, I'm very intrigued for how this is about to go down. Okay. One of the servers walks over, greeting you cheerfully with a bright smile. Damn, Chris doesn't get any lines. Welcome, come on in. His polite smile falters when his eyes land on Kai, but for only a moment before stretching into a warmer, genuine grin. Hi, what trouble are you bringing in today? Good trouble, probably. Kai nudges you playfully. The familiarity between the two gives you an immediate sense of ease. This is Kit. New customer, new tourist, new friend. Nice to meet you, Kit. Chris. Kai rests his elbow on the counter, half leaning against it as he jerks a thumb back in Chris's direction. Finest chef this side of downtown. Chris gives Kai an appraising look, raising an eyebrow. Thanks. That's suspiciously high praise. You two know each other, I take it. Yeah, you could say that. Known you, what, 10 years now? You're how old again? We're the same age, Kai. But yeah, just about. Why? Wanted to see if I could shamelessly ask you to spot me a free meal. Chris's cheeks turn pink as he crosses his arms over his chest, trying to hide his smile behind a huff. You could try. He flashes Chris a cheeky grin, leaning forward on both his elbows. Kai rests his head on his hands, and it's obvious, even at a glance, that Chris isn't entirely put out by the question. How about if I hit you with a pretty please that worked on Mir last week? Hi. She's 12. And... fine. You heard the man. Order whatever you want, Kit. Morning's been rough on them. Car troubles. Chris gives you a sympathetic look. You respond with a small smile and shrug. I'm sorry to hear about that. Are you doing okay? Nothing a full stomach can't help. Glad to hear. It's on Kai's tab, so feel free to order as much as you'd like, okay? Hold on now, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Chris huffs again, smiling fondly at Kai's played-up nervous grin. He grabs a menu, gesturing for you to follow him. Kai relents with a finger salute as his other hand reaches for the door. Don't be a stranger. Also, in the future, If you let him... I wish I could read. If you tell him Kai sent you, he'll give you 3 orders of hash browns on one big plate. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Don't knock it until you try it. Go back to work. I'm going. Chris happily waves, and you toss him a quick thanks before he leaves. You sit down in a booth near the counter. Your stomach decides to make its hunger known with a loud rumble. Chris, the kind soul, only lets out a small laugh as your cheeks burn. I'll give you a minute to look over the menu, then I'll be right back to take your order. All our portions are pretty big. You definitely won't be leaving hungry. He leaves you to it as you open the menu, turning around to check up on several tables, grab empty drink glasses, and keep light conversation. Somehow he makes it look effortless. For all the stress of today, you feel like you can finally relax, slumping into the airy booth seat. Let's see. You can really order. Just, potatoes on top of potatoes on top of potatoes. It is morning. Still on Saturday, you know, so I feel like it should be morning food. I guess let's go with French toast. You're in the mood for something sweet. Fluffy French toast drenched in maple syrup it is then. Call Chris over once you've decided. He jots it down and heads back to put in your order. As you wait, your gaze starts trailing around the diner. Other servers are quickly going back and forth. Okay! Love the development here. We have other servers now. Are quickly going back and forth with different tables every few minutes. Some tables are filled with lively families of all ages. Others have quieter single occupants sipping coffee while scrolling on their phones. Many customers seem well acquainted with each other as they pass by booths, greeting one another warmly. There are a few that stand out way too much to be locals. Then again, it is summer break, so you aren't surprised to see tourists around here. And here we are. Chris appears out of nowhere with your plate, smiling down at you. He places it in front of you with a smooth, practiced motion. You start to dig into your food, humming in delight at the delicious flavors hitting your tongue, but stop when you see Chris slide into the seat across from you. That is a great piece of artwork. Honestly, I really like it. He puts his chin in his hand. His eyes twinkle with genuine curiosity that reminds you of an eager puppy.
Go on. Don't mind me.
Okay. You can't really complain, considering he did get you a free meal, but this is certainly a new dining experience. Not that I mind, but do you always sit down to watch your customers eat? He laughs, the sound light and charming. Up close, you can see a splattering of freckles across his cheeks.
No, not usually. But Kai's told me to look out for you, so that's what I'm doing.
You think I'm gonna choke on my food and die? I can't stay long, but the part-timers can handle things until it's time for me to get back to the kitchen, at least. You take a tentative second bite of your food. For all their teasing, it seems he and Kai are pretty close if he's actually doing this. Or maybe that's just how people are here. Jean and Kai were extremely friendly in their own right, too. I appreciate the warm welcome. You all have been so nice and welcoming.
Well, I'm glad you think so. We all try to help each other out. And we do the same for newcomers.
There's something, just saying this as like feedback, there's something with Chris's microphone. But I don't know what exactly it is that I can say to improve on. There's just something like not quite correct about it. Brine Bay has its up and downs like any other city, but it's my home. I hope you enjoy it here. I think I will. His head jerks up at the sound of the bell at the counter ringing.
Sorry, I've got to get back to work. It was nice hanging out with you. Make sure to tell me how the food was later, alright?
Oh, and as promised, it's on me this time. Just close out the tab at the counter whenever you're done. He stands from the table, drumming his fingers on its surface as he leaves. I will, thanks. And like that, he's gone, his strawberry blonde hair bouncing as he rushes to the counter to greet customers. You turn back to your plate to dig in. The food's delicious, and as Chris said, the serving size is way more than enough. Before you know it, half of the meal is gone. You lean back against the booth with a full and happy stomach. After giving yourself a moment to relax from the meal, you get up to head on over to the counter for a box. It'll make for a great dinner later on, at least. You notice Chris there, holding a to-go bag and chatting with someone. Not this close to the beginning of the game. His soft white hair is the first thing that catches your eye. He looks a bit uncomfortable as he stiffly stands there with a hand on his neck. He doesn't meet Chris's gaze either. It's good to see you, Vince. How's your practice going? Vince lets out a small sigh while rubbing his neck.
The day's barely started.
I know, but I figured I'd ask and check on you. A customer nearby calls for Chris. He puts the bag down onto the counter and offers a quick wave. Sorry, I've gotta go. Enjoy your food. Vince gives a small wave back, watching Chris dash away. He lets out another small sigh and turns to reach for the bag. That's when his eyes meet yours. He freezes up, looking a bit startled at your presence. His mouth opens and closes a few times. He looks like he wants to say something, but is having a hard time deciding. I should probably say something so it doesn't get too awkward, right? Yeah, okay. You give him your best charming smile. Hey there, my name's Kit. I'm sort of acquainted with Chris, and it's my first time at this diner. I just had a really great lunch thanks to him. Are you a regular here? Whatever you ordered smells amazing, by the way. Okay, a little too much. Vince stares in surprise at your sudden introduction. But you must have done something right, judging by how his body relaxes a bit, his tense expression easing into an awkward smile.
Hello, I'm Vince. I wouldn't call myself a regular, but that guy, Chris, he usually greets me around this time of day.
Mm-hmm. So, I guess I kind of am? I think you can kind of tell, but I'm a new visitor to Bryan Bay. I ran into some rental car trouble, so I'm waiting for that to get fixed.
That sounds difficult. I'm sorry that happened.
It's okay. I decided to make the best of my time here and take a proper look around. Actually, I was wondering if you had any recommendations for me. Are there any spots you like to go to often? I messed that up, but you know what? It's okay. I like the beach. I spend most of my time there feeding the crabs. That's the first time I've heard of that. What do you feed them? Usually pieces of meat from my meal. I tear up some chicken or beef, and they really enjoy that. Be honest, I never expected crabs to like meat. They do. Not only that, but they enjoy eating dead bodies of other animals. Alright. Whoops. Hold that thought. I accidentally opened my phone. He says the fact with such enthusiasm, you're taken aback for a bit. Without him noticing, he's gotten closer to you with his hands moving animatedly as he talks. Your expression must be more extreme than you thought, because Vince turns bright pink and takes several steps back. I mean, crabs are scavengers. It's not like they specifically look forward to eating dead bodies. And if you think about it, we also sort of do too, considering we eat stuff like burgers and fried chicken. He rambles on while looking down at his feet, becoming more and more embarrassed. His mouth snaps shut and he hunches over slightly, trying to look as small as possible.
Sorry. I'll be going now.
Before you can get a word in, he dashes over to the door. Vince, don't forget your food! Chris comes up from behind you with a hand on his hip. Vince freezes. He's already halfway through the door, standing there awkwardly for a few seconds. He slowly turns back around, trudging back to the counter with his gaze glued to the floor. He silently grabs the bag and takes his leave again, stiff as a board. You hear Chris let out a soft sigh. He turns to you, meeting your gaze. Is everything okay? I think so. We were just talking about crabs, but I think I might have spooked him. No, I think you're fine. Sorry for leaving you two like that. Please don't take it to heart, by the way. Vince is just a bit... Well, he's not a bad guy. All you can do is nod. He definitely didn't give off any weird or bad vibes. Chris helps you close your tab. He also hands you a pamphlet with the diner's address and number on it. Keep this on you. If you ever need a hearty meal and a place to relax, you're always welcome at Cup of Joe. It was nice meeting you and hope to see you again. You thank him with a warm smile, waving goodbye. Once you leave the diner, you notice the sun a lot higher in the sky now. You briefly check your phone and it's just turned noon. With a full stomach and lighter mood, you decide to walk off your meal by getting a general look around your surroundings. The city has several places of interest you might check out later. There's an arcade, theater, community center, and other entertainment spots. You walk past a group of people holding bags and baskets full of fresh produce. One woman carefully balances a stunning bouquet of sunflowers in one arm, and a bushel of roses in the other. You turn to find the general direction of where they came from. It looks like there might be something worth visiting. There are rows of stalls, lined up with all sorts of different handmade goods and produce being sold. From the looks of it, you stumbled into a bustling farmer's market. You decide to follow the crowd, walking down the road between the stalls. You can do it, honey. We just need a few more things and then we're good to go. More? I thought that was the last of it. You watch as a couple struggles to pull a handcart filled to the brim with fruits and vegetables. The one not pulling huffs, putting her hands on her hips and offers to take her partner's place. She only takes a couple of steps forward before coming to a complete stop, cheeks red and out of breath. Hey, watch out for the equipment. You jolt and quickly move out of the way as a new voice pops up in front of you. A quick sweep of your surroundings shows a single tripod standing at least an arm's length away. Perched on top of it is a sleek black digital camera that looks like it costs more than a month's worth of rent. He clears his throat and you turn on your heels, coming face to face with a man, bearing a menacing glare. The man shakes his head as if you knocked over the gear. Oh, is that it? I'm not that close to it, but you're getting close, and that's close enough. It's important. His arms are crossed tightly over his chest, tapping a foot impatiently. He looks like he's about to continue his scolding session with a vengeance. This guy screams trouble, and maybe even a possible street fight if things go south. You mumble an apology before quickly turning to leave. In your hurry, you actually bump into something this time with a loud crushing sound. Uh-oh. Crumbs sprinkle all over you and the floor. You look up to see a woman holding what used to be an intact box of crisp cookies. She's also covered in cookie debris, staring blankly at the mess between you two. I'm sorry. Your apology is cut short when she heaves a heavy sigh and puts both hands up in front of her. It's fine. It was on a company card. It's fine. You can't even get a word in as she speed walks away, all the while murmuring something under her breath. That sure was something. You're left dumbfounded, covered in cookie crumbs. You take a moment to recollect yourself before starting to brush them off.
Are you doing okay? That was a pretty messy accident. I've got a towel if you need it.
Thanks. You look behind you, finding a man casually leaning over his easel with a clean towel in one of his hands. Did you see all of that? He gives you a bemused smile, gesturing for you to come over. Sure did. I'm pretty sure everyone that wasn't busy witnessed that. But let's get you out of the line of fire before another accident happens. This is very different from the first time that we met in the other demo. Interesting. He extends the towel towards you and you take it with a grateful nod. As you start to wipe away at the rest of the crumbs, he turns back to his easel. He starts scratching away with a black crayon on the sketch pad. You're not from around here, huh? Is it that obvious? Every local knows not to get distanced and the farmers are distracted. I wish I could read. Let's try that again. Go back. Every local knows not to get distracted in the farmer's market. It's a war zone out here if you're not careful. Well, I think I've learned my lesson very clearly now. He chuckles at your dry tone and puts the crayon down.
It might not have been the best experience, but I've got to thank you for being my newest muse.
Oh, really? He picks up the sketch pad, turning it to show you. It's a messy but adorable portrait of you covered in crumbs. Thanks. The style reminds you of something you've seen before, but you can't put a name to it. This is so cute. I definitely don't look that adorable while I've got this mess on me, but thanks.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Hello? He smiles sheepishly and tears off the sheet to hand to you.
Here, I want you to have this. I hope it might cheer you up a bit after the cookie incident.
He makes air quotes with his fingers at the last part, and a laugh bubbles up from you. Thanks. I'm glad I was some form of entertainment to the locals. You notice a small signature on the top right corner of the paper. It reads A. Mitchell in a similarly messy hand. What's the A stand for?
It's Andrew, actually. Andrew Mitchell. Feel free to just call me Andrew, though.
You could have started saying that sentence a second earlier. It's fine. Well, you're a great artist, Andrew. I'm Kit. Is this something you do for a living? His eyes widen at first, but he laughs it off softly and shakes his head. Nope. I'm glad you think I'm good enough to earn a living off of it, but I work over there. He points at a bookstore several shops down. I run Book Hook most of the time, but I like to take a break every once in a while.
Oh.
Actually, I'm out here trying to advertise the event happening at my shop tomorrow. What's it for? It's a promotion for the 25th anniversary of the official release of Trials of Tempest. I've got a new reprint coming into my shelves soon. I figured it'd be a good way to get people to stop by the shop. Now that he mentions it, his style is reminiscent of the original book cover art for the series. You glance down at the other sketches he's taken out of the sketch pad that are laid around his feet. They all bear a similar look to them, design-wise. He's clearly inspired by the art of Trials with its unique light hand strokes and crosshatch shading. His personal twist uses crayon, giving it a chalky outline to everything. I really like the series. Oh, no wonder why your art styles seem familiar. I've read a lot from this series growing up. If I get the chance to, I'll try to stop by and take a look around. Andrew blinks owlishly at your response. He glances down at his easel, brushing his hands over his lap. He takes a moment to collect himself before turning to fish a flyer out of the tote bag by the foot of his easel. That'd be great, honestly. Thanks for offering to visit. If you want to chat again, you can walk right in or call the store. The address and the numbers on the flyer. And then something exploded, holy shit. Oh, fireworks? Maybe. A loud bang of what sounds like fireworks startles you both. You turn your head to where the sound came from and notice a large crowd gathering around something nearby. Looks like the afternoon show's about to get started. Do you know what it's about? The local theater company, Real Dramatics, hosts an annual fundraiser talent show every summer. You don't have to be in the company to participate, by the way. Locals can sign up and give it a go. I'd volunteer, but I don't think anyone wants to watch a guy paint for over an hour. Trust me, the performances are something you don't want to miss. That sounds really exciting. I'll have to go check that out. Thanks again for the towel and the flyer. I should get going. No worries. Keep heading east and you'll end up at the beach. Got it. I'll see you around. He waves at you as you make your way down the street towards the beach. That same guy on a skateboard. Can I hide the front? Yes. The same skateboard person is in this scene as well. You arrive to find the crowd gathering by a stage. Music starts to blast on the speakers with a super lively and catchy tune. A symphony of electric guitar, piano, and drums, as everyone bobbing their heads and clapping along with the beat. You want to get a better view, so you make your way through the crowd, looking up at the stage when the crowd starts to cheer. Do I only have one phone number, by the way? Still? No, I've done more. I was questioning because, like, these two are both for the businesses and not necessarily for, like, the character themselves. But no thoughts, head empty. Do they all just say that? No thoughts, head empty. Okay. Three people strut up onto the stage. The man in the middle is hard to miss with that electrifying green hair and his dark tank top that shows off his fit body. He blows a kiss and you hear a swarm of fans squeal with glee. Somehow you find yourself front and center of the crowd. You lock eyes with the main singer. Sup? He smoothly slides across the stage and with quick and graceful footwork as he sings along with the two backup singers behind him. God damn it, y'all. And they say he's the Rizzler with the most riz of all. The lyrics sound unfamiliar. You definitely haven't heard this song before. Seems like everyone else has, judging by their excitement. It's new to you, but you find it pretty catchy. You start bobbing your head along with the beat. Oh no. You startle as the main singer hops off the stage and waltzes through the audience. He does amazing crowd work as he high-fives people, waves at them, winks, and occasionally stops to make them sing along into the mic. That's when he locks eyes with you again amidst the throng of adoring fans. He smoothly makes it over to you, never missing a beat as he does. Get the hell away from me. The crowd naturally parts to give him room to approach you. Instead of extending the mic to you, he continues to sing into it, and waltzes in a circle around you. He does a twirl before landing a dramatic stance, sending you a wink and striking a finger gun pose. You can't help but laugh at the cheesy yet charming move. The crowd seems to eat it up too as they whistle and holler. Your spotlight moment ends as soon as he steps away and moves to another person nearby. He does this with a couple more people before he leaps back onto the stage. The music swells as he and the backup singers all strike a unique pose at the final note. A flash of sparklers rain from the stage to finish the show.
Thank you! Thank you! My name's Kevin Zuno, and these two awesome performers with me are Zoe and Mika!
Real Dramatics' annual summer talent show fundraiser wouldn't be possible without all your support. An extra big shout out to all of our lovely fans that came today. He throws a deadly combo of a wink and a kiss to the crowd below. Swarms of fans waving posters and signs with Kevin's face on them shriek and jump happily. These funds will go to our community theater to keep everything up and running. Not only that, it'll keep our class prices low and help fund performances abroad. He makes a grand sweeping gesture at the booths on either side of the stage. If you're interested in donating, please check out the booths after the show. Now that that's out of the way, give it up for our next act. We've got some wicked breakdancers ready to flex their skills. Applause roars from the crowd once more before Kevin bows and leaves the stage. You watch him move through the throng of people and, to your complete surprise, heads straight for you, oh boy. He stops in front of you, giving you a sheepish grin.
Hey there! Thanks for watching our show. I hope you enjoyed it. Also, I wanted to say thanks for being such a good sport while I was doing crowd work.
You did stuff with other people as well, but okay. Sorry if that put you on the spot, though. You were a natural.
You might have heard earlier, but I'm Kevin. What's your name?
I didn't do anything. I did, but it's nice to meet you again. I'm Kit. And I really like the performance. Yeah, it's my first time at such a high-energy talent act. Kevin smirks, tucking his thumb and finger under his chin.
Well, you are talking to one of Brian Bay's biggest stars.
It's only natural that my fans would come out to support me. Oh wow, really? No. His smirk widens at your blank stare. But I do have a decent following. I have a pretty big deal in the online theater scene. Oh, really now? Or are you bluffing again?
Hey!
This time it's for real. I've got at least 10,000 followers on here. He takes his phone out and rapidly taps away on the screen. Before you can get a word in, he faces it towards you. A muted video is playing on the screen, showing various cuts of him performing on different stages. You note the amount of likes and comments on the video. He definitely isn't lying about his popularity, at least. You mentally jot down his username, The Real Kev, to look up later. Careful now, he'll scroll on his page for hours if you don't stop him. You! I didn't see you at Cup of Joe Mama and I wondered when you were gonna pop up. Kevin and you look up from his phone to find a man standing a few feet away. He could easily be mistaken for a model with his looks. Long, wavy brown hair frames a handsome face, and thin framed glasses do nothing to hide his pretty brown eyes.
Oh?
Well, if it isn't my biggest fan, I didn't know the mayor of Brine Bay had the time to visit a humble performer like me. Kevin makes a grand show of greeting him with a deep bow. The man's cheeks tinge pink as he coughs into his fist. God, I love playing along with people's idiocy. Yeah, okay. You can tell right away that Kevin's messing with you again. But for some reason, you feel like playing along with his little joke. You sure do know a lot of people in high places. Please ignore him. I could never be the mayor, really. My family just happens to be quite involved with the local development of Brine Bay. We own some real estate, it's nothing to brag about, but let's move on from that. Well, I'll be honest, when Kevin said you were the mayor, I already knew he was bluffing. Oh? What gave it away? I doubt any mayor dresses that fashionably. He runs a hand through his hair before flipping it elegantly. You have a good eye. Perhaps I should wear khakis next time to properly fool everyone. As if you'd ever walk out of the house wearing that. I can make it work with a bit of tailoring here and there.
Well.
Anyways, I had a moment to myself after a few meetings, so I decided to come and watch the talent show. But while I was trying to listen to the next act, I couldn't quite pay attention with someone loudly bragging about himself. Really, Kevin, you have plenty of fans already. I'm sure they can be spared. You're just jealous. You don't mind, right? He throws on his best puppy eyes look, and you can't help but snort in response. Kevin sighs dramatically at your lack of agreement. He shrugs with a grin pulling at his lips. Okay, I got the message loud and clear. Kevin, are you good? I thought I saw it out of the corner of my eye, but you keep doing it. It must just be the animation of your blinking. I wonder if I could get it to do it again. No. Okay, well I can get it to go again, but they turned off going backwards? Oh my gosh, how dare they do this to me? There is like a log, so I could still read what it says. He says, I'll leave you to be. I've got to head over to help out at the booths anyways. Enjoy the rest of the show. Hit me up later if you want to talk some more. But also, yeah, there's something wrong with his eyes. That's so... you can't go back? No! That's my favorite thing to do in visual novels. see what like one way is gonna take me and then decide to go back and go the other way. Just for shits and giggles. That's so sad. He gives a big bow to you and then blows a kiss to the man. The man rolls his eyes as you wave goodbye. Kevin disappears into the crowd, leaving you two alone. Without Kevin's bubbly energy filling the space, you both fall into a comfortable silence. The next act is mesmerizing to watch as a team of acrobats flip and leap smoothly across the stage. It amazes me how flexible some people can be. And you can say that again. My bones creak every time I get up from my chair. He snorts, his shoulders slightly shaking from trying not to laugh out loud as you grin at him. You somehow end up making brief commentary here and there with him on the different performances. You don't even notice how fast time goes by until the last act finishes and you don't see the theater company's director. I do see the theater company's director on the stage. I've gone blind. He quickly introduces himself before thanking everyone for their attendance and donations. You clap along with everyone as the theater and crew. I wish I could read. You clap along with everyone as the theater crew takes a bow. The director bids everyone a good night, signaling the end of the show. People begin dispersing and leaving the venue as the sun starts to set, tinting everything with a soft orange glow. The talent this year was even better than the last. What did you think of it as a newcomer? God, I really want to say it was a new experience, but then I'm worried that it's gonna sound bad, mean, and I can't go back. God, that's so scary. Why would you not let me go back? Okay. It was great. No, let's go with it was a new experience. I've been to a couple of talent shows growing up, but this one definitely is something I've never seen before. I can jot this down as a great memory-making experience, that's for sure. If anything, I'm glad my car decided to break down in this city of all places. I think there's plenty of interesting things that will keep me busy here. His brows furrow and he offers a sympathetic smile.
Oh.
I'm sorry to hear about that. Where were you driving from? Oh wait, I'm sorry. Where are my manners? I've never even introduced myself properly this whole time. My name's Wyatt. I usually am on top of things like this, but I suppose I had a few very good distractions keeping my mind busy. Okay, and then he just went down and came back up. His lips pull into a flirtatious smile as he leans- Get the hell away from me! As he leans in closer, he extends a hand out to you and you feel a bit flustered at the direct eye contact.
Well.
I'm a business manager first and foremost, but I do dabble here and there depending on my interests and whenever I have the time. You shake his hand, surprised at how soft and gentle his skin feels. Then again, everything about the man screams luxury, so you're not surprised he has a good skincare routine. He hands you a light beige business card embossed with thin gold borders and floral details.
Oh.
And I don't think I caught your name, I'm sorry. It's Kit. It's never too late for introductions, I think. It's nice to meet you, Wyatt. Likewise. Mr. Wyatt, there you are! You both look over to find a woman approaching with a big grin on her face. You instantly recognize her from Kevin's performance as one of the backup singers, Zoe. She bows in greeting, looking back up at Wyatt while practically bouncing with joy. Thank you so much for showing up today. We couldn't have done all of this without your help. We raised enough to meet several of our major funding goals. We're so grateful for you organizing this venue and everything else for us. This is so interesting, by the way, because in the original demo, I fucking hated Wyatt because he was mean to Chris, the waiter boy. I don't even remember what his issue was, but there was something. Oh no, I remember why. It was because I was working at the diner as the chef. Don't ask questions, okay? Just it happened. And I fucked up his order, and he was yelling at Chris about it. And so I was like there to defend Chris, and I've hated this man ever since. It's so interesting that in this reworked demo, he's not a bad guy. I really wasn't expecting that from him. Like, we get a new side to him, and I can kind of understand people who actually like him. I don't know. I'm like, I don't trust this man because I've seen this man have a temper tantrum over eggs. But if this was your first experience with this game, meeting Wyatt in general, I could understand you liking him, you know? Also, the worst comment I've ever received on a video ever, just by the way, is somebody saying that me in real life looks a lot like Wyatt. Because again, the temper tantrum over eggs. I was like, don't you dare say that to me ever again. What the fuck? Anyway, he turns to Zoe with a small smile on his lips.
Oh.
There's no need to thank me. Valerie was the one that initiated this plan as a pet project. But still, we would have... Oh my god, I wish I could read. But still, we wouldn't have been able to fully afford all the equipment and everything without you two. I'd love to thank Miss Chantel too, but I can't find her. I'm sure she's around here somewhere. I sent her on a quick errand, but haven't heard back so far. His eyes widen, and he turns back to you. I'm sorry about that. We were in the middle of a conversation. Oh no, it's okay. You seem to have a lot going on, so it's no problem. Oh geez, I'm sorry for cutting into your conversation like that. It's alright, Zoe. I need to find Valerie anyway, so why don't we go together? It was a pleasure talking to you, Kit. I hope we can talk again sometime. Sure thing, it was nice meeting you. The two leave as Zoe continues to chat happily to a relatively quiet Wyatt. You look around, noticing several theater crew leaving the venue. After all that energy, you find yourself a little grateful at the calm and quiet of things settling down for the day. You make a cursory glance around you, though. Given how the day's been, you expect another random encounter with someone else. Minutes pass by without anything new. You breathe out a small sigh of relief. Well, I guess that's it for today. Maybe it's time to head back to the inn to rest. You start your trek back while enjoying the sight of the sunset on the horizon and the calm waves gently washing up against the sand. Walking took a little longer than you thought, but thankfully the lovely weather made it pretty enjoyable. Just as you make it back to the inn's parking lot, you notice a familiar car parked by the front. When you get closer, you also notice Jean standing by the passenger side, quietly talking to someone in the car. And to your surprise, you see Vince sitting in the passenger seat, looking a little nervous as he bites his lip. Ooh, Vince got in trouble. He got arrested by the town sheriff. I'm joking. Jean looks up when he hears your footsteps and smiles at you. Hey there. Did you have a good day? I think so. I got to meet a lot of new faces today and see some interesting things. I hope you don't mind me asking, but... is the passenger in trouble? That's funny. I'm gonna say it. Ooh. It looks like you've got someone in your patrol car. Did they get into some sort of trouble? Gene shakes his head. I know what this might look like, but no one's getting arrested here. He just looks like that whenever he sits in my car. I'm here because I wanted to check on you. I was driving Vince back home and figured I'd drop by really quick. You hear a small groan from the open windows. You look over and see Vince sinking into his seat. Oh my god, what's with the S sounds, or the SH sounds? You look over and see Vince sinking into his seat with his hands over his face. Jean glances between you two, slowly raising a brow. He puts a hand on his hip and watches you with a curious twinkle in his eyes. Do you two know each other? You glance back at Vince. He's staring right back at you, looking like a lost puppy. You want to answer for him to help him out, but he heaves a heavy sigh and turns to Jean. Remember what you've been telling me for the past few days about doing the thing? Oh, okay. I see where this is going. I tried doing it today. I tried talking to more people. But I ended up talking about crabs eating dead bodies to Kit, who was just trying to talk to me. So now I'm the goth weirdo that's obsessed with crabs. Not that either of those are bad things. Crabs are great. Being goth is cool, too. Oh god, I'm doing it again. He mumbles an apology behind his hands. Gene snorts before reaching over to give Vince's shoulder a squeeze. Gene leans in closer, his expression softening. Hey, you did really well. I'm proud of you for trying. You watch Vince slowly drop his hands to reveal a hopeful, small smile pulling at his lips. After they share a little moment together, Gene turns his attention back to you. How are the car repairs going? Both Kai and I have been busy, so I didn't get the chance to ask him. It's going to take a while since we need to have at least a few days to even get the right parts for the car. Gene's handsome face scrunches into a frown, and his shoulders slump with disappointment. I'm really sorry to hear about that. For what it's worth, I'll give you my number in case you need anything while you're stuck here. Fuck yeah! He pulls out a pen and notepad from his utility belt. Do all sheriffs just hand this out to anyone? It's my personal work phone, and I think it's always good to have at least one contact to help when you're stranded in some random town. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I'd feel a bit better knowing you can contact me directly if you need to. Now that sounds kind of ominous. Should I be worried about anything going on in Brine Bay? Gene's eyes widen and he blinks in surprise at the question. He quickly shakes his head. No, it's a great town and fairly safe, I promise. I didn't mean to scare you like that, sorry. I just like to be careful. It never hurts to be vigilant, especially in my line of work. You nod as he tears the page and hands it to you. You glance down, reading his number scrawled on top with his name, Sheriff Gene Williams, right underneath. Actually, it doesn't have to be just me in your contacts. Fuck yeah! Vince has plenty of free time. If you ever need someone to hang out with, I think he'd be able to make it. Right, Vince? Gene turns to Vince, who rapidly looks between Gene and you like a deer caught in the headlights. He seems to consider it for a bit before he slowly nods. So should I give you my number, or do you give me yours? He pulls out his phone from his pocket but nearly drops it with shaky hands. He murmurs something under his breath, making sure he has a firm grip on it this time. His awkwardness is pretty adorable. You definitely wouldn't mind hanging out with him if given the chance. How about I text you instead? Ooh, baby's first text message. I'm baby, to be fair. Like, that could have been taken either way. I'm baby in this instance. He seems to prefer that idea as he quickly nods with a small, thankful smile. Gene grins at your little interaction and straightens his back, looking content with his work. He writes down Vince's number with the name Vince Matador on another page before handing it to you. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. I just wanted to check on you before heading home for peace of mind. Again, if you need anything, feel free to call me or text me. Or Vince. Good night. I'll keep that in mind, thanks. Good night to you too. He circles around the car, getting back into the driver's side. The car starts up and Vince gives you a small wave as they drive away. Hold on, I have to check my phone. Yippee! Wow, I have everyone now. No thoughts, head empty. Uh-huh. No thoughts, head empty. And... oh, no thoughts, head empty. Sweet. You head into the end, finding Ind. It is only 11 o'clock at night, you guys. I swear. You head into the inn, finding Dante hunched over at his desk, tinkering away at something. He raises his head at your approaching footsteps, nodding when you smile at him. Hey, how was the exploring? It went pretty well. I met a lot of people today. Plans have changed, and I'll be staying here for at least a few more days. Sure thing. I have your card on file, so I'll just charge it until you check out. Stay as long as you need. The inn's not going anywhere. Great, thanks. Then I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. He murmurs good night to you, already engrossed in whatever he was doing before. After a nice long shower, you get into a comfortable pair of pajamas, ready to settle into bed for the night. But before that, you pull out Angie's drawing of you from your bag and tape it to the wall near your bed. I really did mean it when I said he should look into pursuing art for a career. It's super cute and unique. When you're content with the placement, you pull the blankets out and hop into bed. You let out a content sigh at the way you sink into the mattress. Now that you're all cozy, you pull out your phone for your nightly bedtime scrolling, of course. But instead of opening your usual apps, you pull up your contacts list. Don't make me call people again. Today sure was eventful. Look at all these new contacts I have. I'd say the one that was the most memorable meeting was, 100% Vince this time. The dead crabs really got me. Honestly, he was originally my favorite character in the original demo, but the dead crabs was such a good conversation. Honestly, I'm really surprised Jean was a little less important this time around, I feel. He was a little bit more subdued, let's say. I feel like wasn't as flirtatious, and that makes me feel better about him. Chris was a little bit more of a stranger. Like in the original demo, me and Chris were besties. Like I would fight a man for Chris. Andrew was really interesting this time around as well, because originally I was helping him and not him helping me. And then also, like, he was a little bit more standoffish meeting in the bookstore versus meeting outside and him drawing a picture of me. Kevin was interesting meeting a little bit more alone, because originally you meet him, like, with Vince. You're actively talking with Vince when he pops up. And he was a little less wild, a little less like crazy, and what's the word that I'm trying to think of here? Like confident, extroverted, I guess. And then Wyatt, like I said, really surprised me by not being an asshole this time around. Like I could kind of understand people who really liked him in the original demo now. He has a character. But that being said, in answering, this question of who was the most memorable, the dead crabs made me laugh. Your introduction to Vince was a little awkward. I said that wrong, but okay. But he doesn't seem like a bad guy. You can tell he's trying his best. Not everyone is built to be super sociable. But you think back on the interactions and notice how he's usually with someone who does most of the talking. Chris and Jean are looking out for him while initiating things. I wonder if that helps him, or not in the long run. I'm a little worried they might be trying to hold his hand a little too much. You can definitely see that spark of confidence in Vince when he was excitedly explaining the diet of crabs. It was weird, sure, but also charming. It's clear that Vince can initiate things on his own. Hopefully he can explore that on his own at some point. You think back to how Jean and Vince interacted outside of the inn. Their relationship definitely feels a little bit different. You think it's... I don't know, heartwarming? I don't get paternal vibes. So I guess heartwarming, but I wouldn't necessarily say that. Sure, Vince needed a little push, but it was really sweet to see how Jean supported him. He's there to cheer for Vince when he's trying his best. It's a heartwarming sight, and they clearly care for each other. Vince may be a bit awkward, but you find that endearing and genuinely wouldn't mind meeting him again. You set your phone down, feeling a hint of excitement for the next few days. You got to meet quite a diverse cast, so who knows what might happen. With a content sigh, you succumb to sleep and drift into your dreams. And today is Sunday! You're right, today is Sunday for me. Who should I talk to today? Oh, okay. Oh, and then I guess I'm... Okay, this confuses me, but I have 3 places. Do I know what any of them are? No. What's this? The park. Oh, interesting. Okay, so Jean's at the park. Love that for him. Chris is at the diner. and Wyatt is at the beach. Very intriguing. Between Jean's avatar is also just, by the way, like, that could be anybody. Between Jean, Chris, and Wyatt. I guess Chris. Like I said, I really liked him in the original demo. Right now, it's a little bit less because we don't have that diner interaction that we originally had. But I guess let's go to the diner. Considering the last 24 hours, it's not a surprise you woke up as late as you did. Then again, it's always a gamble what sleeping in a new place will do. It seems this time the roulette wheel landed on waking up just after the complimentary breakfast was put away. The last thing you wanted to do right now was have to think too hard about food, so your mind went right to the only place you knew. One morning routine and walk through the town later, you're here at Cup of Joe Mama's again. Pushing open the door, you're greeted by the syrupy sweet smell of pancakes and Chris's bright voice. Good morning, welcome to Cup of Joe Mama's. Dual-wielding 5 coffee cups on each hand doesn't deter him from turning to greet you. Recognition flashes across his face, and he pauses in his tracks. Kit, it's nice to see you again so soon. Well, that's a significantly warmer welcome than you've ever gotten. Chris seems to mean it too, his freckled face lighting up with a smile. The only thing missing from the picture is a tail wagging behind him. He must be a morning person. Hey, Chris. Behind him, you can clearly see the remnants of a very busy morning. Every table is piled high with dishes and glasses, with a few lingering customers taking up the only clean ones. Chris, seeing your eyes wander, laughs.
You just missed the breakfast rush. Here, is a seat at the counter okay?
Sure. Thank you. He happily shows you over, dumping the empty mugs he was carrying into a wash basin and clearing off the space in no time. You take a seat on the plush but slightly creaky stool as Chris slides a menu your way. Feel free to order whatever you like, obviously, but I have it on good authority that the chef makes a mean French toast. What about a nice French toast? Maybe? Is extra whipped cream nice? Chris lifts the basin he was filling up to waist high. Everything inside clinks together loudly, and you can't help but think it must be heavy. The friendly waiter doesn't seem to mind it, shifting only to adjust his grip. Take your time and look things over. I'll be back in a jiffy. Looking down to the menu, you're left to the ever-important decision of how to break your fast. How to break your fast. Unlike the menu you got last time, this one is homely. It seems to be printed and laminated by hand, and while most of the items are fairly standard, there's a section that's totally handwritten. Next to a cute depiction of an otter is a mix of ornate swirling loops, tiny chicken scratch, and big yet uncertain letters belonging to a child's hand. Julienne Autumn Reds with sweetened crema whipped to perfection. $300! The super egg. 6 egg yolks plus 6 egg whites mixed into one giant egg. It's good. Free. B-ag-l-1. Chris's return is heralded with a loud exhale. You look up just in time to see him clipping his bangs back, smiling once a few unruly curls are out of his eyes. Even if he's hiding it well, it's clear the busy morning must have taken a lot out of him. Taking out his notebook and pen, Chris meets your gaze with a renewed energy. Phew. So, did you get a chance to look over the menu? I did. You can still order Kai's special, by the way. Waffles or pancakes? I haven't had a waffle in a long time. Chris nods. You know, I don't think the day really starts until I've had something sweet. Turning Are a lot of my breakfasts sweet? Right now I'm on a cereal kick, where I just eat cereal every day. I have these moods. But before that, it was bagels. So, I guess not really. Turning around, he slides the ticket into the kitchen through the open window. When he faces you again, he busies himself with tidying up the rest of the counter, sliding used dishware into basins and refilling syrup trays. Busy morning. Sundays are always pretty busy here, thankfully. People love a good brunch, especially when they don't have to spend a pretty penny to get it. That seems like a lot for one person. Just the smile dims a little. Sheepishly, he gives a shrug. Well, it's not always this crowded. I won't complain about the extra business, either. Even if he seems happy to dance around the topic, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that Chris probably wouldn't be manning the front of the house alone if he didn't have to. Is there something special going on this weekend? He gives your question honest thought, tilting his head like he might remember something if he angles his brain just right. No, I don't think so. I'm usually on top of that sort of thing. Gotta stay prepared. So much for that. Enough about me, how about you? I know you're not exactly in the town by choice, but if you need any recommendations on places to go, Hot plate behind! The doors to the kitchen swing open, and a strikingly familiar tall brunette woman barrels through, one hand balancing the aforementioned hot plate, and the other spread right in front of her to keep her balance. It doesn't do much good. Her foot strikes the corner of the cabinet hard enough to shake her water glass, and she... okay. Catches herself, just barely. You can't help but sigh in relief while the woman slides the plate right in front of you with a flourish. One order of waffles, fresh out of the kitchen. Even with how relaxed she is, behind her, Chris has gone white as a sheet. He gives a shaky exhale, burying his face in his hands. Sierra, please, walk. Each measured word comes with a healthy serving of desperation. I was walking, with purpose.
We can't afford to replace more plates.
You're struck by how commonplace he makes it sound. More importantly, though, you recognize this woman as she gives you an apologetic smile. She was at the market yesterday, you think. Sorry about that. I know you didn't pay oh god. I know you didn't pay for dinner and a show, but consider that on the house. Welcome on in. I'm Sierra. Thanks. Are sure you're okay? Of course. I stumble all the time. Chris visibly cringes. A bell over the door means more customers, though, so Chris shakes his head and puts on his customer service face. To your surprise, though, he instantly relaxes, instead of offering a casual wave. 3 blonde girls meet Chris's wave with varying levels of enthusiasm. A cool nod, a big wave, and a shy bending of fingers. Hey, what are you 3 doing here? We got the cry cut working. Mia was begging to come show you. Oh? The 3 girls all crowd around the counter. Chris comes around the side to meet them, kneeling slightly to get closer to the littlest girl's, Mia's, height. Is that true? A single, firm nod. Chris ruffles her hair and stands back up straight. I'm totally? Where's totally in this? I'm going to watch them, so no worries if you're busy. You don't mean to stare, but you do when the middlest girl locks eyes with you. Even if you try to save face, she's immediately at your side. Hey. Reaching into her pocket, she produces a sticker. No, with a flick of the wrist. A fan of stickers. And all of them are otters. An otter biker, an otter princess, an otter on a circus ball, an otter with a hula hoop. Interested in a little sticky business? Oh my god, Mare. I'm sorry, please ignore her. She thinks she's hilarious. She is. Because I am. See, Sierra thinks I'm funny. This Mare swings around to point at Sierra, who's hiding a giggle behind her hand. These are my sisters. The sweet one here is Mia, and the other 2 are already picking a fight with each other are Meredith and Catherine. Nice to meet you all. Gophers, this is Kit. Please be nice to them. Please. Yeah, whatever. You're Kit? No, now you're a part of the sticker squad. Pick one. Meredith spreads out the stickers again before you. You look over your options and give Chris one last appraising glance. He only shrugs. Otter with a glowing sword. Meredith stares at you as you make your choice. She sighs dramatically when it's clear you won't be changing your mind. Whatever. If you could get a failing grade in picking a sticker, Meredith just gave you one. Damn, I thought that one was really cool. Oh, okay. That's Catherine's. She has a whole backstory for it because she's a total dweeb. Miss Otterton, Princess of the Darklands, cursed to fall for... Catherine crosses the distance and claps a hand over her sister's mouth. Please ignore her. Sierra extends a hand, a silent but instantly understood gesture that makes Meredith turn and offer a sticker to her. I take it the three of you were with Min. She chooses an otter with a clown outfit. Lucky guess. Catherine glances at you. She fixes her hair slightly as she continues, happy to be the one to clue you into anything you're missing. Min's Sierra's partner. They're really into stickers. Oh, I saw her with Sierra at the farmer's market yesterday. You both were struggling with a cart full of produce, right? Yeah, that was us. I might have gone a little too overboard on the berries, but they're perfectly ripe this time of year. Min's a sucker for my strawberry and blueberry pie, so it's a win-win. And we're advertising, so Min says we can put the stickers in as a tax write-off. Advertising? What, exactly? And also, just as a little aside, that's tax fraud for sure. Advertising the diner, obviously. All these otters are our mascot. Kind of. Kind of doesn't hold up in court. Look, Christopher. I've done a lot of research on this, so I think I can safely say that I know more than ya. Guerrilla marketing is the future, and these stickers are our time machine. Those sound the same. We were going to do something grander, actually. Catherine speaks up, trying to coolly add to her sister's point in a way that sounds educated and calm, but her non-stop fidgeting makes you think she's feeling a little vulnerable. We can't afford to do the big campaigns like the Quigleys. But, well, we were thinking of starting with some flyers, at least, and Kai said Kevin knows a place to get shirts printed. We want to help out, you know? Chris's hand finds its way to the back of his neck, where he rubs as he tries to figure out how to respond. He was adamant that the busy morning was good, despite the clear evidence that it must have been a lot to deal with. For his three sisters to start a big advertising sprint on their own. You're right, yeah, it's a good idea. The three girls visibly relax. Chris picks up a sticker and gives it a once-over, turning it in his hands.
They are really nice. Just make sure you don't put them anywhere they shouldn't be, okay? No sticking them on people.
What if it's a Quigley? No Quigleys either. Promise. I'll keep an eye on them, don't worry. Nope, you too. Promise me there will be no sabotaging the Quigleys. What? I wouldn't. Why would I even? You don't trust me? Meanwhile, the youngest of the trio is wringing her hands together, staring at the floor. Beside you, Sierra is the next to notice. With a loud exclamation, she picks up one of the stickers from Meredith, prompting a small hey that she ignores. Whoa, is this the rainbow dress otter? That gets everyone in the diner's attention. Even Mia, who looks up at Sierra with big, round eyes like saucers. No way, this is the rarest one, isn't it? Sure is. Not just anyone can have it. Really? Dang. Sierra kneels down close to Mia, showing her the sticker. Hey, Mia, can I have this one? It takes all of her courage, but Mia gives a nod. Her sadness melts into a bashful giggle. Yeah, okay. After all the ruckus, the three girls, and Sierra, who was in desperate need of a break, left the diner. There's somehow even more energy in their steps as they go, excited to begin their new project. Chris leans against the counter next to you, his eyes fondly following the gleeful little group. You watch them too until Chris suddenly jumps up, somewhat flustered. Sorry, your breakfast must be cold by now. I I can make you a new plate. Oh, right. Thanks to all the commotion, your food is entirely untouched. It must be nice having 3 younger sisters. Yeah, it is. Almost all the time.
They know how to get into trouble, but they really mean well. They help out when they can, too.
The stickers are just the newest of their little machinations. He picks up your plate, smiling. Thanks for taking one, by the way. We don't get a lot of newcomers who play along. I know it means a lot to Mia. Sure. Chris takes your plate away. Soon enough, you get a new plate in front of you. You're certain he piled on some extra food. You look up to Chris the next time you can, and he gives a little wave and a thumbs up. Where should I go now? I was gonna say, did we get back to this screen? Ooh, we have 4 options now. Exciting! Yep, the bookstore. With Andrew. The theater with Kevin. The garage with Kai, of course. And we can go back to the diner and see Wyatt. Intriguing. Because I feel like I'm getting pulled in 2 different directions here. On one hand, I do want to go to the bookstore because it's the bookstore and I love books. And also, like we said that we were going to stop by with the whole like flyer thing and the 25th anniversary of that book. But on the other hand, which one was it? This one? That's the theater. On the other hand, I'm kind of like, should we check in with the car? But also, it's gonna be a couple of days until anything can happen. But also, it makes the most sense to check in with the car, right? Anyway, let's go check in with the car. It's pretty unlikely that anything changed in the, day and a half since Kai said you'd be sitting pretty in Brine Bay for an indeterminate amount of time. Left here by the whims of a rental company's willingness to do paperwork. But unlikely didn't mean impossible. As it turns out, the garage is about a hop, skip, and a step away from anywhere in town, and before long you can see its plain exterior tucked between Brine Bay's colorful cityscape. The shutters are drawn high, but there aren't the telltale signs of cars being worked on or anyone around to work on them. Maybe everyone's out to lunch. Isn't it kind of a bad idea to leave it open like this, though? Ow, ow, ow! Well, that's a familiar voice, one that sounds a lot more distressed than you remember, but... Kai? You sidestep an abandoned mechanic's creeper and weave in between the pair of mobile tool racks. Kai doesn't answer, but the farther you make it inside, the louder you can hear him muttering more than his fair share of colorful expletives. By the time you find him, he's knelt to the floor between a couch and a rolling cart, with one hand at the back of his head while its opposite collects a wrench and a handful of nuts and bolts. A knitted blanket pools at his feet, and, judging from the multiple pillows, it's a pretty easy guess to make that you caught him red-handed during an afternoon snooze. Ooh. Nap-handed? Where'd that... Kai palms the floor, ostensibly to find another lug nut before he ends up at your shoes. He slowly looks up, his eyes widening as he rockets to his feet.
Hey.
Only to bang his head into his cart. He sucks air in between his teeth as he manages a shy smile, still furiously rubbing at the back of his head before he finally rises to greet you. Didn't realize anyone was going to swing by, or I would have... You need something? Left something in the car? Did you miss me? Kai teases, but any real charm is lost as he rubs the sleep out of one of his eyes, at least. Why is the at least there? Out of one of his eyes? At least? So it could be both of them? How's that bump on your head feeling, champ? The corner of his lips twitch as he tries to fight back something between a smile and a frown, apparently unable to decide which is the better look. It probably won't look as bad as it feels. It's on the back of my head, so who's gonna notice, right? Are you sure you don't need ice or something? Nah, I've had worse. Not always sleep-related, but worse, definitely. Like, got my hair stuck into something once. Rip. Oh my god, really? Nah. Cute you believed me, though. So what's up? Seriously. Couldn't find a casino around here, so I figured I'd try my luck with you. Any news with a car? He tosses his wrench and all the little bits and pieces he grabbed into the metal, segmented tray with a clatter, watching only to make sure each thing landed in the right section. Yeah, your car broke down in the wrong area. Nearest place to play slots would have been at least 2 hours away. Then, as if to correct an assumption before it forms, he adds, my folks love going, concerts and whatever. But, nah, no movement for the rental car or the dealer. I checked in this morning, but, yeah, sorry. I know that's not what anyone wants to hear. From the look on his face, you'd have thought it was his car that broke down instead of yours. Well, it'd been too much to hope in the first place. But, hey, it's only been a day, so fingers crossed. Worst comes to worst, I'll go and make you a new alternator myself, yeah? The wheels of his cart rumble as he drags it towards one of the cars. Sure, come back to me after I get a certificate and take a couple 100,000 classes. Uh-huh. A rasp of a laugh escapes him, the mechanic peeking at you from the corner of his eye. There's almost a winking self-assurance that you either love or hate. Stool legs scrape against concrete as he scoots closer to inspect the car's interior, gaze ebbing away again with the tide of his attention. He navigates around the prop rod, hiding himself in the shadow of the car hood. Warm brown eyes turn clinical as he reconsiders its aging internals. You're briefly forgotten in the garage, along with his afternoon affair with couch cushions. Well, now what? You could always head into town. There had to be something happening, right? Or maybe the move was to head back to the inn. You planning on hanging out? Huh? Twirling a headless socket tool in hand, Kai's attention flows back to you. In the garage. There's something leading in his tone, almost as if he trying to go back to sleep, huh? I wouldn't really call it a sleep, more of a cat nap. An hour, tops. It's not a cat nap. He chuckles, picking through the various chrome heads, piled into a disorganized tray, before snapping one onto the socket. Yeah, you caught me. If you are, though... He pulls up another old stool to his side from a workbench, waving you over an open invitation. With no other obvious plans on the horizon, you settle down beside him. Almost as soon as you do, he leans over to a nearby work table and twists the knob of an old-school radio until the speakers crackle to life. The two of you join in the middle of a chorus of an old song. You heard this one before? Kai's unafraid to sing along once he finds the rhythm, his voice a rough and uneasy thing. Joining in the melody is the... I don't know how to pronounce that. Chick 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 of the socket and the creaking of an old chair as he leans forward, the toe of his boot scraping against the ground. What have you been up to since I last saw you? You mean in the last day and a half? Mm-hmm. Don't say that. No, actually, now that I think about it, I don't remember the relationship between Kai and Kevin and whether or not they're friends. Nothing much. I've been taking it easy and looking around by myself.
Yeah?
You had a pretty rough day yesterday, so I guess that makes sense. It wasn't great, but it wasn't too bad. Things turned out to be pretty okay, just, I don't have anything to do, so I've been wandering around. That why you're hanging out at the garage with me? Wouldn't you like to know? Alright, keep your secrets. What about you? Not much. Pretty much came back to the garage after I dropped you off, worked, fell asleep, got up, worked, and then you woke me up. Well, his eyes flicked to the side with the tiniest twinge of guilt crossing his features. The floor woke me up after I fell off the couch. Deep in it, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not really a morning person. If I could have my way, I'd have gotten here about an hour ago, but the garage has got to open and none of our employees have the keys. He shrugs half-heartedly. Kai slowly slides off his chair, the sleeves of his jacket nearly getting caught in the seat's frayed and peeling surface. Oh, or on the seats, whatever. Before he turns his back towards you to kick a tray deeper beneath the car. Who normally opens the garage then? My dad. Oh, right. I mentioned something about that the last time you'd been here. He opens something and the smell of oil hits the air. Acrid. Burnt. I've been kind of bad about it, the whole on-time thing. Can you hold this for me? Without waiting, he hands off the tool he'd been working on. God, I wish I could read. I don't know how to save that one, so we're starting again. Without waiting, he hands off the tool he'd been working with to you and quietly returns to the car. It's one of at least 2 others, not including yours, in the garage, in addition to a motorcycle. Both vehicles sit propped open, though the second sits locked into a lowered lift. Now that you're getting the chance to look at the place, it was kind of tiny. It couldn't have held more than another car at most. Maybe that wasn't a problem for a place as small as you'd been led to believe Brine Bay was. There's some noise behind me, hold on. I don't see anything too incredibly interesting behind me. Just by the way, could have been one of my dogs hacking. They've been sick all day because they keep eating spider webs. You watch as Kai methodically moves around it, searching for something before he gets up and walks past you in his cart to disappear into the bright red cabinets nearby. I don't know which one of these I want to say. Oh no. Oh, them's the breaks. Yep, my mom's convinced she's a comedic genius. I guess my dad was going to call it, again, I don't know how to pronounce your own last name, auto shop, but one search online and you tell me if we'd stand out and get any business. So, yeah, them's the breaks. Technically, it's them's the breaks. Wen and Son Auto Shop, but kind of a mouthful. Still gotta say it when we answer the phone, though. Oh, I can say multiple things. Okay. Do you always work on multiple cars at once? That seems like a no-brainer, because, like, you're waiting for parts. Depends on what I'm doing. Wouldn't even try if it's something as serious as what's going on with your car, but an oil change? Tune-ups? Yeah. He jerks his chin in the direction of the vehicle on the lift. Both of our guys are actually working on these ones. I'm supposed to be working on the bike, but I figured I can help. They're kind of behind since I came in late. It's fine. It'll all get done eventually, and everyone kind of assumes it'll be a while before they get them back. You get a lot of business from the rental company? Would you be surprised if I said yes? Called bargain wheels for a reason. They're not exactly in great shape all the time. I guess statistically they've got to be decent, but no. Most of the fixes aren't bad. Flat tires, busted up bumpers, empty gas tanks, jumping a car sometimes. Most rentals are new, but I guess you got a lemon. Are you sure you're okay? He chuckles. Kai doesn't move his hands, but he tips his head forward. You're free to check. Didn't think it was so hard to fall I'd make you worry, but I don't hate the attention. He makes a point of pushing his hair aside with the back of his hand, head canting to the side as if he was baring his throat to you. A bead of sweat traces the curve. You, yep, looks good. He roots through a drawer and you hear the clattering of its contents. At the far wall, you spy a handful of what you can only assume are family photos. I did notice them. His parents and a dark-haired Kai that looks as unfamiliar to you as he'd been yesterday. An entirely new stranger. He returns to the car with a bottle of synthetic oil in his newly gloved hands, but not before jokingly bumping his knee into yours, as if to tell you to move. Kai volunteers the next question as he removes a handful of other parts and places them aside onto another rolling cart. He drags it over with his foot, too. Where are you headed after this? Probably to figure out dinner? Yeah, but that's not what I meant. I meant, where were you heading before your car broke down? I was guessing maybe a city or two over, but couldn't really place you. Oh, I was going to visit my family. My parents are maybe around 600 miles from campus. I had about 6 hours left before I got there. And you'd driven for about 3? You're insane. What? How? You can get me to sit in a car for 9 hours, never mind driving it. Yeah, it's not my idea of a good time either. Yeah, I mean, your leg cramps at some point. Guess you could say that walking too. Walking, that'd be what, 3 days? He sighs, watching as the oil starts to drip out of the car and into the pan before returning to his stool. So you don't drive? I didn't say that. I take my car out every now and again, but... Oh god, he has the eye problem too. He removes a glove to scratch his nose before pulling it back on again. Mostly just to make sure it's running well. Nothing's getting stagnant and everything works the way it's supposed to. I hardly ever drive out of town. Maybe I should. Not much of a travel guy. Don't really know what to see. Maybe I'd go more if I had a motorcycle or something. Aren't the statistics, worse? Yeah, but they're cooler. It kind of outweighs it. Hi! His head snaps to attention as another man's voice carries from the entrance to where the two of you sit in the garage. Pat shouts back, louder than you thought possible. Yeah? I'm back. You can take your lunch now, man. I already did. He's apologetic when he turns his attention back to you, his smile a little weaker. Yes, they're back, so it's about to get real crowded and sweaty here fast. Probably time to head out. Kai offers you a hand to take, but pauses when he remembers at the last second that he's still wearing oil-slick gloves. Popping it off and tucking it under arm, Kai helps you step down. From a stool? Without much trouble. The walk to the shutters isn't long, and Kai says his goodbye with a casual lean against the low, painted black frame. Hope hanging out at least kind of made the walk worth it. You were pretty alright, I guess. Ouch, that one hurt more than my head. As you wave goodbye, you pass by an older man who nods in your direction. Must be one of the mechanics. You don't get farther than a few steps from the garage before... Was that your partner? Shut up, man, no. Thought they looked too good for you. You've got a new bedhead, by the way. Ah, shit. Oh, where should I go now? Okay, what are our options this time? Another 4 oh god. Nope, we have all the options in the world. Okay. The west suburbs. The bookstore, again. The park. The diner. Interesting that this is in the park and not the diner. Wow. He gets a break? The beach. And the arcade. Intriguing, intriguing. Yet again, I'm like... Let's go see what Crabman has to say. You know I'm excited to talk about crabs. Oh my god. There's a crab in the background. Let's go! Waves comb through the sand, unearthing shells, stones, and the occasional hermit crab that's tunneled too closely to the surface. There, out on the horizon, is the sun, believe it or not. Streaks of red and yellow pull like thread throughout a too big sky, clouds soaking in the light and darkening like cotton candy. It really was worth the wait. How many times have you actually watched a sunset? Really loud at the beach. Between classes, homework, friends, and everything else, it wasn't often you stopped to look up. There were always too many things going on, but you've plenty of time now. Hold on, I need to turn down the volume. It's the, I don't know if it's the music or the sound. The sound? Yeah. Seagulls are just a little bit too loud. More than enough to spend an hour or two watching the shoreline. While most people are departing the beach for the day, you kick off your shoes and take your first steps onto the sand, still warm from a day cooking in the summer sun. You don't walk for very long before you see a nice flat rock in the distance. Stone juts out from the shoreline, slick with seawater, and on the top you think you see a body. That or it's a giant starfish. As you make your way to the edge of the beach, toes dug deep into the wet sand, a distinctly human shape moves, and you realize it's that guy from the diner. Not Chris, that's a totally different guy. It's Vince, sprawled out in the sun, as happy as, and as happy or not as nervous as you've seen him. He rolls over onto his stomach, arms and legs. You're so pale. What do you mean you're just like laying out in the sun? Arms and legs outstretched as he basks in the last dregs of sunshine. He has the tiniest little shimmy as he arches his back, opens his eyes, sees you, and then just about freezes in place. What is this supposed to mean? Question mark. It took him a little while to warm up to the last time you saw him. Maybe it'll happen again this time if he isn't feeling mortified enough to bolt right away. When you don't speak up, Vince looks down, suddenly interested in whatever little specks he's newly discovered in the rock trapped beneath him. For a while, the only sound that you hear is the waves washing up against the shoreline, and the faint ringing of a bell from the pier. Hi. Hey. Hey yourself. Thanks for horses. I was thinking it, but I wasn't going to say it. Almost as soon as he opens his mouth to say it, he snaps it shut. Vince swiftly turns his head away. The tips of his ears blush pink. You're right. I'm more of a free-range, grass-fed human myself. You? His head tips down, and you catch the barest puff of laughter. Yeah, me too. Weather's, nice. Vince rolls over onto his side, curling up to take as little space as he can. He offers a seat with a wave of his hand, offering implicit permission to encroach on his prime beach real estate for now. Oh.
We can switch. I can sit on the ground and you can sit up here. You shouldn't have to excavate sand from everywhere.
I like doing that. No, it's cool. I appreciate the consideration, though. Sure, no biggie. You plop down on the edge closest to land. Another beat passes, then another as the two of you watch the evening setting in. Not too far away, you hear the sound of an air conditioner cutting short and storefronts jingling as their owners exit. Lights go off one after another. The seagulls still caw overhead, and you watch as one skillfully dives into the ocean to retrieve its dinner. Pinched in its beak is what you think might be a little crab, but as you start to point to it, you realize Vince has turned away from you, staring out at the water. Evidently, he isn't very interested in small talk. It wasn't as though he'd given anything but that impression when you met him, but he did invite you to sit with him. He did also mention he was trying to get better at talking to people. Maybe he needs some help with a conversation starter. You have plenty of those, don't you? Maybe even a fun icebreaker to shake things up. Do you... Your mouth all but seals shut when he does. The two of you staring back at one another before you concede him the floor rock. He sits up, turning to face you. I was going to ask if you were hypothetically cryogenetically frozen for 100 years, what would be the first thing you ask? What? Wait, fuck. Vince is sheepish, his lips pressed together as he worries little crescents into his fingertips with his nails. It's an odd question, but it's obvious on his face that he knows that. Well? What an interesting selection of things that I can say. This sounds sports ball-y. I know nothing about sports. I'm not sure that I like this, because it's like 100 years into the future. I'd want to know what's happening. I'm not gonna question whether or not, like, he's serious. Like, I don't know what knock knock means. The problem with this is I can't go back. We've already shown that they don't allow to go back. That's interesting. You can do things behind my head with the arrow keys, but there's no back button. Bothers me. I guess this, because it's at least asking about the world, even if it is sports ball. Like, I would... If I woke up 100 years in the future after being cryogenetically frozen, I'd want to know more about, like, technology advancements, but I'll ask about sports, I guess. What do you think with our records from the last few years? No. Vince laughs, the sound bubbling up like sea foam on the shore. Can I ask you another question? Shoot. You watch as he fiddles with the sleeves of his hoodie. You hadn't thought about it until just now, but isn't it summer? Also, he's not wearing a hoodie, but continue. It's chillier near the beach, sure, but is it really cold enough to need a jacket? Actually, he had the same jacket on the last time you saw him, too. No, he didn't. Continue. If you were a rock, what kind of rock would you want to be? Okay. Give me the options. I was definitely thinking, like, a geode. Personally, I'd say some sort of crystal. I really like amethyst. But I think largely because when I was a kid, I got an amethyst geode. So it still kind of fits with the geode thing. Yeah, I'd say a geode. I think I've seen some of those at the store. Yeah, the store, where you can notoriously exchange money for goods and services. The corners of his lips twitch upward, Vince peeking at you from the corner of his eye, caramel brown softening just a touch. Okay then. Hold on. Huh? He rocks back in his seat, head tipping down as he tries to refigure out how to position his legs. His ankles all but hover over the edge now, the cuffs of his jeans caught on the stone. They put them a little closer, and it feels like your makeshift bench is suddenly too small. Can I ask a question? Oh, yeah, sure. Sorry, didn't realize I was going on and on. If you had to decide, are you a lemon or a lime? Weird You've been asking me weird questions. Less weird than what you asked me. His lips press into a thin line. Vince sucks in air between his teeth and... Are you tasting lemons and limes in your head? His face has literally folded in on itself. Maybe. Lime. Limes are smaller and the rinds are more bitter than lemons. You're calling yourself bitter. He shrugs noncommittedly, turning his gaze back towards the horizon. Used to be. Not as much anymore. I could ask multiple questions. Between cooking and cleaning, which do you prefer? I think cleaning. Okay. I don't mind cooking. You prefer cleaning, but you don't mind cooking. Okay. I'm alright. I mean, as alright as any guy living on his own could be. He picks off stray lint on the... Okay, interesting though, because in the previous demo, he and Jean lived together. That made it sound like he lives alone, like he's not Jean's roommate. Intriguing. He picks off a stray lint off the cuff of his sleeve, flicking it onto the beach or wherever the coastal breeze might take it. Thought you lived with Jean. I mean, yeah, but he's usually busy, work and stuff, you know? I don't wait up for him or anything. Wasn't that 2 questions? Who's counting? Me, obviously. He snickers, pausing only to look back over his shoulder before he settles his hands behind him. Something about the beach seems to put him at ease when you compare the vision of him in the diner and Jean's patrol car to now. He was fidgeting back then, shoulders pinched shut like a door hinge. By comparison, out here, Vince looks like he belongs. Is it easier now? He tips his head in your direction, his hands fidgeting with the longest strands of his hair that had fallen out of their careless bun. What is... talking with me? What? Oh. Yeah. Sorry. For what? The 20 questions and whatever. You only asked 2, remember?
Yeah? Well, who's counting?
Me, obviously. His voice turns teasing, clearly pleased to lob your own words right back at you. It's no big deal, I was just wondering why you were asking them. Most people start with a hi, how are you, and not, what's your darkest secret? I did not ask that. I try to just ask questions so people kind of naturally fill the space, conversation-wise. He nervously touches the back of his neck, but suddenly unable to look at anything but the open sky that you both share. People like talking, and I'm not good at it, so I keep the... With that same hand, he gestures vaguely at nothing, as if that explains what he means. It's easier. Is it that you don't like to, or just that you don't know what to say? Both, kind of?
I just haven't in a long time. So, you know, it's like a muscle, and whatever.
Don't use it, then you suck at it. Like, you get it, right? Yeah, it can be pretty hard sometimes. Yeah, it isn't like I don't want to be around people. I just don't have to, you know, but people take it as me being, like, rude. You and me both. This is cool, though. Getting to know you, and it's nice having someone to talk to that isn't housemate. Or the delivery guys. He runs his index finger along the top of his knee, the dark denim of his jeans tugging slightly. Nice getting to know you too. Maybe we should really play 20 questions next time. Maybe. I was blacking out trying to think of like, even 2 questions. Kinda glad you asked them instead so I didn't have to. They don't all have to be groundbreaking. They're cooler if they are though. More interesting answers than like, what's your favorite toast? Do you have one? No. I think. That I think inspires confidence. Yeah, I'll try to think of an answer for next time. So he says, but he's at least a little entertained. He's not very good at hiding his emotions. I need to head out and make dinner, but maybe next time you can just come over. To your house? What? Oh, fuck no. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. I'm just giving you crap, man. Oh. Then, you know, next time you see me, you can say hi, or... I guess I can too, if you're cool with that. I'm cool with that.
Alright, I'll, make like a wave and... whoosh.
The line itself was already so lame, but that whoosh. You watch as he goes with a wiggle of his arm. I did literally the same exact thing in real life. Slowly sliding off of the rock before retreating from the beach, his shoes dangling on his fingertips as he kicks up sand. I wish I could read. His shoes dangling on his fingertips as he kicks up sand with clumsy abandon. It doesn't take long before you decide to follow suit, heading off of the beach and towards the town square, in search of your last meal of the day. Turns out the sunset isn't the only thing around that's well worth the wait. Wow. The door closes behind you with a soft click. After a long, eventful day, you wrap things up with a nice hot shower and get into some fresh pajamas. As you head towards the bed, you can't help letting out a small laugh and shake your head when memories of today flash through your mind. I do want to know if, like, before we do this, no, they still have no thoughts head empty. Or they're, oh! They have hearts depending on, like, who you talk with? Exciting. Okay, they all are no thoughts head empty though. I was hoping that they would change. Oh, we could look also at social media. I guess we can't. Don't worry, guys. I'm great at getting rid of error codes like that. As you head towards the bed, you can't help letting out a small laugh and shake your head when memories of today flash through your mind. There's an adult moment around here, huh? You plug your phone in before you pull the covers back and flop onto the comfortable mattress. Right, time to settle in for my nightly scrolling. Let's see. That's what I was trying to do. Oh my god. Hey guys, by the way, the social media thing doesn't work. The words and colors begin to blur on the screen, and your eyelids start to droop like they're held down by heavy weights. I think I can finally sleep. With a sleepy press of a button, your phone screen turns black, and you limply plop it beside your pillow. Your eyes shut as the soothing sounds of the beach from the slightly open window lull you to sleep. Off to the dream world you go, preparing you for another eventful day tomorrow. And today is Monday! Yippee! How long is this demo? Wow. Because before it was just like the one day. Exciting. Who should I talk to today? Well, there's one option, so... Okay. What do we got? The West Suburbs. We've got Wyatt. Should I be, like, letting you guys know who each person is? Or do you think you got it at this point? Oh, believe it or not, Andrew's at the bookstore. I'm really questioning it. Favorite character so far. What is this place? And the general store, which looks a lot like the town square, just by the way. In fact, I think that this is the actual general store, and that this was supposed to be more of like the park area. I don't think the town square looks like this. Let's go bother them. Yippee! Oh, okay, this place. Okay. It's so quiet in Brine Bay in the morning that you think you could hear a pin drop anywhere. For a town this small, you would have thought there'd be a chorus of good mornings and hey to people as they passed one another by. But maybe that kind of thing only happens in movies. It'd be more interesting if there was some beachy rock anthem as a backdrop. As you approach the center of town, the pulse of its sleepy denizens picks up, and you hear the sweet crooning of a street performer, strumming and singing along to some song you swear you heard on the top 40s the other day. Beside him is his harmonic complement, buzzing away on a harmonica for a jazzy interlude. They're good, but not enough for you to stay all morning? I don't know. It's the kind of distraction that works for about 1 or 2 songs. But after, you'd rather make the most of your very empty schedule and find something more interesting to do. You start scrolling through your phone, swiping your thumb against new searches and lists left over from before you fell asleep last night. As you start to search for somewhere to stand out of the way, you find the slowly swaying figure of a man that acts more like a metronome than a person. Oh, hi. Vince is... No way, you're here? Vince's attention fixes on the musicians at play, fingertips tapping idly at the tops of his knees, offbeat for a second until he finds the rhythm. He's murmuring something to himself, tap-tap-tapping against his dark jeans. As he tips his head up, about to let loose a note, he catches your gaze instead. That sunny expression of his gives way to its usual cloudiness. His lips seal and Vince is suddenly all sharp angles, fingers tenting where they rest, as though he's forgotten how to relax the joints in his hands. His voice is a little higher than it usually is, and he interrupts himself with a cough into his hand. Vince slips forward again, headphones swinging as he does. Hey. How long were you... He loops his finger through the air, as if gesturing to the entire plaza. I didn't see anything if you didn't want me to. Oh. Great. So, you saw the whole thing. The whole thing. Even the part where you started doing the jitterbug. What? Oh. He snickers, the back of his hand pressed against his mouth as he peeks at you from the corner of his eye. His shoulders lean forward, arms dropping back into his lap. Yeah? How was it? Your footwork could use some help. Mind if I... You gesture towards the seat behind him? Beside him. He shakes his head, making room for you and your things. He draws into himself, and the two of you share in the unquiet of the town square. Behind you, the water of the fountain babbles a beat off from the performers, who have since changed keys from pop songs to an unfamiliar ballad. Oh, that one's... Vince doesn't turn to look at you, but you watch as he turns a hand towards the sky, digits moving along what you can only assume is the neck of an invisible instrument. That song, they've played it before, but it sounded different the last time. How can you tell? He shrugs noncommittally, as if that's a fine substitute for an answer. But you listen with him while he searches for the words, and you try to pick out what's unique about the melody. I hear them all the time when I, come through. I think they're trying for original songs now instead of covers, but people don't really stop to listen to them as often. True to his word, you notice some of the listeners have dispersed, but you lend your ears to the chorus to try and hear what Vince listens for. It's a light, breezy song, but you don't think it's eclectic enough to never make it to the radio. What's it sound like to you? What does it sound like to you? I asked you first. His gaze is expectant, attention firmly placed on you in a change of pace from the usual. Where Vince normally searches for any reason to not see you, he wants an answer, though what it is, you can't say that you know. It sounds like... I'm between I think they sound nice and it could use some work, but it's not bad. I mean, there's nothing in the text that says that they necessarily sound bad, so I guess I'll say nice. Nice how? I don't know, it's nice. Easy on the ears and I like it. Nothing else? No, it's, cool. I guess it's on me for not asking you to be specific. The song continues on, and the two of you listen in contemplative silence as Vince muddles his way through each successive note. Against his better judgment, you catch him swaying in the corner of your eye, his fingers press against imaginary strings. With a furrowed brow, you watch as his concentration only furthers until he hits a sour note. I think it's that one. I didn't realize you had perfect pitch. His shoulders draw in, and Vince glances in your direction. His hands instinctively go to the back of his neck, as if it does anything to hide the embarrassment. I don't, I just listen to a lot of music. Yeah, I can tell. He has his headphones nearly all the time. You had to imagine that he did spend a lot of time listening to it when he was going around by himself. What's wrong with what they're playing? You sounded like you had it all figured out. It's just, I think if they picked a different chord, it might resonate better. It just sounds like they're trying to get away from the pop culture vibe that they have, but it's boring, like it's just more pop trash. Not that there's nothing wrong with people liking pop music and whatever, but it didn't sound the way they should. This one sounds righter. Gene likes that kind of thing, but it's... He waves it off with his hand dismissively. It's not for me. That kind of sound would work for him. Vince allows the words to fall away, his lashes lowering a fraction as he returns his attention to the performers again. The lead singer longingly mourns a relationship, wistful as she croons about how she's going to make another mistake. Sorry. 4? Sounding pretentious, maybe? I sound like those dicks that say every oldie is better or whatever. Nah. I just didn't know you cared so much about music. Besides, it's cool. Different from talking about lemons and limes, right? I didn't mind it then. Maybe this is the time you mind it. Well, I haven't gotten up yet, have I? He almost scoffs, but relents. You hadn't, and hadn't given him any reason for pause before. He relaxes back into the seat, the fabric of his hoodie bunching up where he slouches. Again, Not wearing a hoodie. Yeah, because you like staring at me instead, right? What? No, I don't. He chuckles, very obviously convinced. Sure. You know who's playing right now? Okay, now you sound like an ass. Do you like this band? Name 10 of their albums. Definitely not the same thing. Have you tried talking to them? The band. Oh, what? Nope. It's just my opinion. I'm not a professional or anything, so it's not like I should tell them what to do or what they should sound like if that's what they want. It'd be kind of like telling a chef, hey, you could cook this better. Like, yeah, obviously, but you don't say it to somebody's face. Vince worries little curves into the tips of his calloused fingertips, burning them red. Maybe they'd like it. What do you mean? Like, maybe they'd appreciate it. You've been listening to them for a while. Well, yeah, you've been sitting next to me the whole time. You know that isn't what I mean. You don't think it'd sound, like, presumptuous or anything? Why would it? I'm just some guy. I've known them since they started, but that's kind of what it is. I don't know, I usually listen to more alt-rock. You hear the pause, the hitch of his breath as he considers his words. But you don't get to be picky about talent. You hear enough of a good thing and, I don't know, it's just good, you know? You end up liking it. He laughs, looking over at the group with the kind of fondness you'd imagine that he reserves only for people that he cares about. Kind and reverential. Vince grows characteristically quiet again, easing neatly into old habits as he listens, and the band switches to a different song. You don't recognize this one either. His brows furrow, the soft caramel of his eyes sharpening with renewed interest as he starts to mumble something again. For all of his worries, you wonder if he's considering it. It's obvious at a glance for you that he pays them careful attention. Not maybe just as a fan, but as someone who cares about the work they're putting out. What's the worst thing they could say if you do? That they didn't want my opinion and I should go fuck off? Dude, it's possible. I don't know them as people. No one normal is going to say that if you're being polite, and you're going to be polite. The worst thing that they could do is say thanks and ignore you. Isn't that worse? Is it better than not saying anything at all? Vince stares back at you, mouth half open as he tries to find the words for what he wants to say, before settling on a contemplative silence. At first you think you might have offended him, but he sits up. Words come one after another in that shy, ambling way that he always does. There's another act after this if you want to listen with me. She's a violinist. Pretty good for her age. You don't have to. Would it be nice if you did? Vince smiles warmly at you in open invitation, but it's clear that he doesn't aim to really keep you here if you don't want to be. Whether you answer or not, you suspect he'll still be here, just as he was before you arrived. Still, you see it in the slight slope of his shoulders as he goes back to listening. He's thinking about what you said, even if only for a little bit. When the band finishes up, he says goodbye with quiet reluctance, simply saying it's time to move on to the rest of his day. Anyway, where should I go now? There's only 2 spots. Alright. We could talk to Kai at the park, or we could talk to Chris at the diner. Difficult decision, I like them both. I guess? Because if I had to rank love interests in this, I'd say that Kai was probably like second. So I guess we'll go to the park. I do like Chris, but just as like in a brotherly sort of way. I'm so sorry. It's a perfect day to be outside, and the rest of Ryan Bay agrees. There are as many families as there are people like you taking a stroll around the park on what must be a daily afternoon walk. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and... Mare, you've got to get your hands off my eyes. I can't see. There's a large bike with a minimum of 3 people on it, barreling straight at you. Shit, kid. It's some combination of quick reflexes and the yelled warning that gives you enough time to fall backwards onto the sidewalk, mere inches away from where the bike and its riders skid to a stop. Only once you get your bearings do you realize 3 things. Kai is halfway to kneeling in front of you. He's been pedaling one of those large carriage-like bikes with the bench attached, and his 3 passengers are blonde, blue-eyed little girls that look suspiciously like Chris. We're getting both of them simultaneously, kind of. Are you okay? Oh, that's so bad. Catherine's brows knit together as she chews on her lip. Not far behind her, you spy her sisters, Meredith, shyer than last time, and Mia, looking like she's seen a ghost. Sorry, Kit. Sorry. I'm okay, seriously, don't worry about it. Kai's eyes narrow, skepticism as clear as day on his face, but he lets it go nonetheless. Maybe because you have a captive audience. Alright, I'll believe you. Kai helps you back up, steadying you on your feet before he wordlessly lets go of your hand. The 5 of you relocate off of the path along with the bike to open up the sidewalk to any passerby again. Fancy, biking into you here. Ah, Kath! The typically placid look on his face is broken by a hard jab in the side by Catherine. He squirms away from her, writhing like a worm on a rainy day. I can't believe you let a child goad you into doing that. Call me a child again, I dare you, says the second tallest child, very loudly and childishly. It's not fair of you to use SAT words against me. Goad is not an SAT word. I know, it's pretty sick, Kath, outside of vehicular manslaughter. I don't think that's a word either, Meredith. What are you, Jean? You're supposed to call him Sheriff Williams, Meredith. Also, stop calling me Kath, you know I hate it. You let Kai do it. Yeah, well, Kai's hopeless. Damn. Kai, you're not supposed to curse. Kai snorts, shaking his head as the girls argue back and forth. He catches your eye, a touch of mischief hidden in warm brown. You met him yet? I ran into them at the diner yesterday when I was grabbing breakfast. I'm babysitting. Their summer program's off today. Catherine scoffs, loudly. Sorry, young lady sitting and babysitting. Between Kai and Chris, the difference in Catherine is nearly night and day. Everything she says sounds long-suffering and tired now when compared to the almost austere way she was in front of her brother, perfectly happy to play her part as oldest sister. It's kind of hard to tell if this is the product of Meredith pushing her buttons for the last time, or if it's being Kai, well, being Kai. I said that wrong, but it's okay. Kai's gaze softens, his arms crossing over his chest as he leans against the parked bike. So, what's up with you? I'm guessing you're not here to get run over. Get the man a prize! Honestly, I wanted to get some fresh air that wasn't at the beach. We're about 10 minutes from the shore walking. Beach air everywhere. I get it though, it's, different from trees. What's with the bike? Mare wanted to ride, but no one's gonna let her rent an electric bike by herself. Me, Angelo? Can't ride a bike anyway, and Kath didn't want any part, so 3-seater. He jerks a thumb in the direction of some alleged bike rental farther into the park. We've got nothing planned. Want to officiate a race for us? Seriously? We're going to do it? Yeah, didn't you say you wanted to? Yes. Okay, you're going to have to fill me in on, everything. It's a race from here to there and back. You gotta be hauling at least 3 people. That's the bike, Meredith says with a wave of her hand. Guy's pretty fast, but not me fast. On account of being a hag, I guess. I told you he'd hold it against you. Yeah, whatever. So, it's my turn now. I'm carrying around Kai, Mia, and Kath, but you can swap in if you want. Your eyes meet Kai's. He couldn't seriously mean that he was going to make a 10-year-old carry around a grown man. Or a grown you. He shrugs. Meredith doesn't notice. I can hear your doubt. But I can totally do it. Yeah, right. I'm putting my money on you, so you better win. Hell yeah. Shouldn't curse, Mir. You said it 10 minutes ago. Did I? Mm-hmm. With the race back on, Meredith leads the way towards her chosen bike path. Another stretch of sidewalk, this time nowhere near the park entrance. Everyone takes their place on their respective seats on the benches. Kai indelicately, sure, whatever, drops himself into his, nearly rocketing Meredith out of her spot. Everyone ready? Count us off, Kit. Go. That's not counting. Whatever, bye. So she says. But it doesn't take a genius. Anyone could tell that it was a lost cause from the start. There might have been a chance if it was only her sisters, but... The spokes of the wheel slowly turn as she forces the pedals forward one at a time. Her small hands white-knuckled as she grasps at the handlebars. Until the bike abruptly shoots down the path, minus one Kai, who's standing innocently next to you. She won't be mad. She'll probably be pissed. But I fell off. You saw that, yeah? Meredith returns, panting and red-cheeked from the exertion of still toting around her two sisters. See? Nothing to it. Yeah, you did it, Mare. She grumbles, her eyes shooting down and pride turning to annoyance in a fraction of a second. Don't think I don't know what you did. Who won? Huh? Who won? That's what you're here for. Did you see who actually finished first? Honestly, you didn't. Were you supposed to have timed it? Also, you didn't know when Kai finished either. Still, Meredith's looking at you with such eager anticipation that you may as well make up an answer. Not even a question. You did, obviously. Have I told you that you're looking beautiful today, kid? Thank you. You haven't, but I appreciate it. Should we give you guys some space? Are you done with this silly plan of yours now? It's not silly, Catherine. I'm serious. Plan? She wants to run in a marathon, but the category for, you know, people our age. I know what it looks like, but I can do it, trust me. Meredith's no doubt an athlete, and an optimistic one at that. It sounds pretty condescending to congratulate her on having goals, but it is pretty impressive. By the end of this summer, I'll beat you fair and square, Kai. So don't think I've... ice cream. Mia, as quiet as a mouse, finally pipes up in a voice that's louder than a whisper. Her eyes grow wide as she peers at a passing ice cream cart. Its operator singing and smiling jovially as he rings his bell. Can we? Kai digs out his wallet, producing a few crumpled bills to hand off to the girls. Meredith shoots him a look from over the top of pushing Mia's head, as if to say, this conversation's not over. Kai shakes his head, sighing as his hand comes to rest at the back of his neck. God. You're kind of a handful, huh? You have no idea. I don't really, want to put in my full effort against a kid. But she really wants me to do that, and I don't know how to tell her it'd look bad for me too. I mean, it's what she's asking. She's giving her all, so you should too, right? Kai quiets, a soft huh falling out of his mouth almost as soon as the words leave your mouth. Didn't think about it like that. I mean, you know her better than me, so maybe I'm wrong, but... Nah, you've got a point. She wants me to take her seriously, even if it's... He waves his hand nebulously. She needs proof for herself or something. Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna get magically... Nope. Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna magically get her into an adult marathon, but, you know. Yeah, Hey, are you guys getting anything, or what? With a gesture and a wave, Kai directs you back towards the ice cream cart. Each of the girls have gotten their own, and with a flattering anything you want. From Kai as an apology for nearly turning you into gum on the sidewalk, you leave the park with a handful of ice cream bars and an afternoon's worth of fun. Hey, where should I go now? I knew that was gonna happen. Okay, we got some options here. Oh, we've got the park again. We've got the garage. The town square. The general store. And the arcade. Intriguing. Shall I leave the park to go to the park? I like bothering them. Let's go. The sun hangs low in the sky as the afternoon starts to give way, but the time of day has almost no bearing on you, someone who has nowhere to be and nowhere to go. Trying to crack my wrist. Damn. Forever. Actually, that sounds kind of depressing. Okay, correction. It means nothing to you because you're someone who has all the time in the world to do whatever you feel like doing. Better. As you take another loop around the park for what feels like the umpteenth time, you search for anything different in the scenery. There's the same ducks waddling around, the same parents and their kids, and that's a fine set of shrubs over there. You could always head back early and, who knows, take a break somewhere on a bench, scroll through your phone, call your family. Maybe you could bother Dante. He has to still be at the inn, right? It's as you round another corner that you finally see someone new. Monochromatic reintroduction to your eyes, and blissfully unaware. Vince Matador. Hey, Vince. He startles, head jerking back and forth as he tries to figure out where your voice is coming from. It takes a little waving on your part before he realizes. His eyes widen, lips parted. Even as you make your way over, he holds still. It was that much of a shock? You do your best to offer a reassuring smile. By now, you know to give Vince a wide enough berth to recover in a conversation. He panics less that way, though you aren't sure by how much. This is, taking much longer than it did the last few times, though. He's certainly thinking about what to say. Is it just you, or is Vince that bad at hiding his expressions? It's kind of cute how he's scrunching his eyebrows together and chewing on his lip, as if he'll land on something profound. What's he going to ask this time? Maybe another odd icebreaker. Or maybe he'll just settle for a... Hi. He finally manages, nervous only marginally subsiding as he goes from deer caught in the headlights to deer caught in forest? Sure. Hi. Yep. Uh-huh. His hands ball into loose fists at his sides, arms swinging slightly so that they bounce against his legs like it's some kind of idle animation in a game. Didn't expect to see you here. I thought, it's not really a tourist spot. So, cool seeing you. With that, you watch as he immediately turns and starts to walk away. You don't really know what's going on here. Vince doesn't get far before he stops again. His back still to you, he picks his way off the sidewalk, hovering somewhere between the grass and the playground. He sighs, which makes you feel real good about the fact he fully left for 5 seconds. Sorry. For what? It's not that serious. Okay. I just, I didn't really expect anyone to talk to me, and you're always kind of... like, you always end up talking to me. Sorry? No, it's cool, I'm just... See, the weird part was that I literally thought about running away, which is worse. Am I really that scary? He pauses, shaking his head side to side, and you hear the bottles he's holding clink with more fervor. No, not really. It's not even that you did anything wrong, I just wasn't ready to have a conversation about the weather or whatever. We don't have to talk about the weather, we could talk about wind speeds. Do you normally talk about wind speeds with relative strangers? No, but I don't really think you have room to talk. Touché. Should I just leave you alone then? It doesn't feel awesome to be intruding on someone's space if they don't want you there. It's this, though, that makes Vince finally turn to face you, apologetic in the way that his worry softens into something closer to defeat. No. Getting some mixed signals here. No, it's... He drags his hand down his face, sighing as he allows his arm to fall back down his side, with a defeated slump of his shoulders. No, it's not my park or anything. We can hang out if you want. I'm just not really chatty right now or whatever. I'm alright if you're alright. Yeah, I'm alright. Cool. Cool. You want to sit over there or something? He gestures towards the edge of the path. There's plenty of benches around, but pointing that out might actually make him go nuclear. Sure. The two of you settle in on the pavement. Bikes whiz by behind you at a distance, and you listen to the idling chatter of, "What are we doing tonight?" between people busily deciding on things. Tension slowly, but surely, starts to leave Vince's shoulders as you sit together. His legs stretched out, he rocks his heels back and forth against the grass. You don't even notice when you start doing it too, but he does, since he changes things up soon after. What are you doing? Being a seal? He keeps his shoes connected to one another at the heel, then quickly knocks them together, before relaxing and bumping the tip of his sneaker against your shoe. I literally facepalmed. I don't know how good that's gonna look in the VTuber model, but I literally just facepalmed. Ark, ark. He tries at something close to a nervous smile, fidgeting with his hands. When that's not enough, he turns to rummage in his bag, producing 2 clear bottles filled with something pink. You watch as he sets them both in the space beside you, then digs around in his pockets for the telltale jingling of keys. Quick as he finds them, he pops the lid off of one bottle, then the second. Vince offers one to you in a polite invitation. It's a rose lemonade. I've never heard of that before, okay? You don't have to take it if you don't want to. Sure? Vance hands off the drink, condensation still slick on the glass as he does. Cheers. With a clink, you both take a sip. It's slightly floral and bubbles on its way down, refreshingly tart. So, was that what you were out doing today, other than listening to music? Yeah, I was going on a snack run. Gonna watch a movie tonight. Oh, with Jean? No, by myself. There's a new one that just got into streaming that I wanted to watch. Oh, what movie? You probably wouldn't like it. Hit me with it, come on. It's one of those Criteria Collection kinds, black and white, super boring. You're really selling me on this movie, man. He snickers, slender digits curling at his mouth and the corners of his eyes winking with amusement. Yeah. I mean, it's probably cool or something. It's got old gothic horror energy. The makeup effects are pretty cool, considering. Used to be on at his folks' house a lot. Jean's, I mean. You guys have known each other that long? Yeah. Thought you'd have more questions about the fact that his folks just played slashers all the time. No. Yeah, I've got questions about that too. Secret's that we usually put a different movie inside the case when they weren't looking before we rented it. His mom used to freak out on us, but like, in a I'll jump scare you so bad you won't do it again kind of way. Jean broke a lamp once. Vince settles... Nope, he doesn't. Vince sets his drink down on the sidewalk to instead pluck at the grass and clovers beneath. The thought comes to mind that you might ask more, but considering earlier, maybe it's better to just not push it. Thinking about it now, you had plans before getting stuck in Brine Bay. Most of your friends headed back home for the summer too, so you were going to hang out. But now it feels like all that late-night texting and frantic planning went to waste. Would your schedules line up again for another try? By comparison, everyone here always seemed to have free time. You probably bumped into half of the same people you met when you arrived by sheer chance. Thinking about something? You looked like you were focused on something in a totally other place. What about you? Do you have an allergy to answering questions? I'm curious, sue me. Yeah, I was, thinking about what pairs well with the lemonade. I have 4 bottles of it now. Started thinking about other things too. If I made you uncomfortable, or if this is boring. I felt bad because I was basically saying shut up and leave me alone earlier without really saying that, and kind of shitty of me, I guess. A fistful of grass scatters back down across the ground, but he plucks another handful. I used to be fun. Used to? You should be at the club. I don't like any of these answers. Don't tell me you used to actually smile. Smile now? I'm not seeing it right now. You sound like an old man. Hey, you can still be fun, It's not like you have no chance to. Yeah. No offense. Usually if you say no offense before you start saying something, I'm going to be offended. So, no offense, but what happened? He dusts his hands free of dirt and turf, wiping them down on the front of his jeans. It's kind of... There's being fun, and then there's being too fun. You do some shit one night, and that's a good time. Then another night, you do too much in the wrong way, and it's less. It's kind of... I don't know. It's safer being boring, so I always kind of am. This sounds kind of self-deprecating and whatever. Sure, it's safer, but isn't choosing to do nothing worse? What do you mean? You're worried about going too off the rails, right? But you course-corrected and went in the complete opposite direction and do nothing now. Isn't that, I don't know, kind of a bummer? You could aim for moderation, right? Not easy. But have you tried? No. Vince becomes silent again. His eyelashes lowered a fraction as he considers what you said. You've been pretty vague about it, so you can only guess at what he meant, but it sounds like he got into some more trouble than it was worth when he was younger. Still, it's a little sad knowing he doesn't really think of himself as someone nice to be around. You've only had a few run-ins with him, but each one sticks in your mind. Vince was quiet, sure, but it was really only because he was trying to be thoughtful about what he said. Even if it didn't always come out that way. The bag rustles again. Vince stands up, waiting until he has your attention to tip his head in the direction of the park's playground. Want to go do something fun? Sure. He collects the bottles, picking up the bag too before leading the way towards the kids' swing set. Most of the families you saw earlier in the afternoon were gone now, leaving you and Vince full reign of the plastic kingdom. He sets everything aside, each item nested in the wood chips before he settles a foot on one of the swings. The next follows swiftly after. His hands secured on the plastic-covered chain links, and his feet squarely planted on the swing. Can you push me? Sure. Because this might as well happen today. You make your way over, steadying him before you start to draw the weight of the swing back, and... push as moderately as you can. Oh shit, okay, like that. Once he gets the momentum, you're able to let go and step aside. And Vince swings, his hair caught in the wind, eyes turned towards the sky. The chains creak beneath his weight and the metal frame rattles with each swing. You good? Yeah. Cool. Think I'm gonna jump. Wait, hold on. Jumping off of a swing isn't anything new. Kids do it all the time, but Vince is also definitely not child-sized. Every time he swings past, you half expect him to hit his head on the frame. Before you can object, Vince goes flying. He makes it a decent distance away, stumbling once his feet hit the ground. His knees nearly buckle, but in the end, he lands with his arms up in a V for victory. Vince turns towards you with a soft smile, breathless in his laughter. Ta-da. Fun? Yeah. So what were you talking about earlier? Was the last time you had fun when you were 7, or...? He shrugs, making his way back over to you and securing his hand in one of the links. You want to try? I can push this time. What the hell? Sure. He steadies the seat, offering a hand to help you climb up. His fingertips are calloused when they brush against your palm. Vince smiles as your eyes remain turned to him, waiting until you're comfortable before he winds behind you to grab at the chains. I got you. You ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, 1, 2. He pulls you back with surprising strength, though you can hear the puff of exertion come out of a man that's not exercised in months, as he does. When he lets go, you rock forward, gaining a little speed. Okay, 1 more. Summer breeze is past, and you glide through the air as steadily as you stand. You expect him to push you again, but... Oh fuck, I forgot I had ice cream. He doesn't. And by the time you realize what's about to happen, Vince is on the ground. You hop down, stumbling as you try to help him up. Oh my god, are you okay? He's just laying there, laughing as loudly as you've ever heard him. Vince's eyes are closed, snorting in between the fits of giggling as you pull on his arm. Yeah, I'm fine. See, this is what I mean. Too much fun's dangerous. In the end, Vince doesn't get up, and you end up lying on the ground beside him so he isn't alone. You talk about whatever pops into his head, his anxiety abated. Literally, what could be more embarrassing than what just happened? For the time being, and when you get back to the inn later that night, you don't even know how to begin to explain what happened to the park to Dante when he asks about the wood chips in your hair. Alright, time to settle in for my nightly scrolling. Let's see. Yep. Social media still doesn't work. The words and colors begin to blur on the screen, and your eyelids start to droop like they're being held down by heavy weights. I think I can finally sleep. With a sleepy press of a button, your phone screen turns black, and you limply plop it beside your pillow. While I'm here, I just want to see real quick. I see. Interesting. Okay. Don't know what that means. Your eyes shut as the soothing sounds of the beach from the slightly open window lull you to sleep. Off to the dream world you go, preparing you for another eventful day tomorrow. And today is Tuesday. Yippee! I think, honestly, that I don't know how long this demo is going to be. It's insane that we're already at like 3.5 hours of me playing, and we still haven't wrapped it up. But I am getting sleepy. It is 12:30 right now. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this here for now. I'm gonna save. I kind of want to keep this save, even though, like, it's for the old demo. Also, you can kind of see with this the difference in the art style. Like, it's a little bit more cartoony, a little less detailed, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, you know? I'm gonna save it here, though. Common Chapter 1 versus W1 Tuesday morning, whatever that means. I'm definitely enjoying this, though. It has a different vibe. Before, it was, like, funny in an immature sort of way, but definitely, like, also cozy, whereas now it's, like, a little bit more low-key, a little bit more cozy, and just kind of a chill fun. I don't know, I'm very intrigued by all of the differences. I'm actually kind of intrigued to check out a couple of the other characters as well and see, just hanging out with them, how that all works out, but I am tired. I'm going to go to bed for right now. So, thank you guys for watching these 3 hours as I play this game. I will do another playthrough session, though. When I'm going to do that, I don't know. Sometime soon, so we can see the rest of the demo. Hopefully it's not like 15 minutes after I finish this, and this is kind of for nothing. But yes, I'm gonna go for right now. So thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one for the rest of the Zemo.